Whoops.
Nice start.
There's our music. I forgot. I got to hit the music and start the show today. Hey, guys, it's Tom Mazaway. Welcome in to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. Thanks for coming in. I've got a couple of substitute teachers in with me today. To my left, in the middle, Terry Foster, of course, Detroit News extraordinaire from back in the day. And now with Woodward Sports when we need him. He's a pinch hitter. And our good friend Rod Beard, who we got out of the house from the Detroit News. He had his choice. What were your two choices today?
Paint the kitchen, come in here.
And we win.
We win.
We win. Rod Beard, Terry Foster, Tom Mazaway.
And a coin flip. He almost painted the kitchen.
Almost. We got Fish back from Pebble Beach. Welcome back, Fish. How you doing, man?
Doing good.
Welcome home. You look well rested, and you got a little color in your cheeks. You're looking healthy.
Yeah, I wish it was sun. But
It wasn't from the sun, it was from the wind.
yeah, wind, which I didn't
really?
know. Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing. Did you guys know windburn was a thing?
Yeah, but I thought you went to California. Where are you getting windburn?
No,
Well,
he was
Pebble
at
Beach
Pebble
is-
Beach. You ever been there?
No.
It's windy as heck.
It's an hour from San Francisco, or actually 2 hours from San Francisco.
Okay.
We did go to San Francisco, by the way. We went to the financial district, so we didn't see all the stuff that people talk about.
Did you go over the Golden Gate
but
Bridge?
We did not. I know.
Did you see the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum?
We saw the what's the Oracle Park?
Oracle
we saw
Park,
that.
which
Did you
used to
see
be
Pier
Pac
30
Bell.
Pier 39?
Pier 39. How about
Sure.
that?
I don't know what we saw.
That's
Okay.
a tourist trap. So I wish I had known he was there. I would have said you got to go to the House of Nanking.
Where's that?
It's borders Chinatown and
We did see Chinatown. I'll say that.
yeah,
we did see
Chinatown and North Beach.
Did you run into Barry Bonds at all?
We did not.
Okay. How about Joe Montana?
We did not. We saw Candlestick Park, I think.
No, Candlestick Park is gone.
Is it
but
gone?
You
No,
might have
it's still
seen
up.
where it was.
Still up.
No.
They haven't torn it down
The
yet.
stick is still up.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I think it's still up.
I gotta go.
We saw
I saw it
signs
a
for
month ago.
Candlestick Park.
You can't get in, but I've seen it.
Oh, you can get in. You'll find a way to get in.
I'm sure. Well, technically, you're not supposed to get in.
Yeah, Maz will find a way to get in.
I'll find a way to
Legally.
get in.
Maz is a man of means. He will find his way into
I love the stick. Anyway, it was also known as one of the worst stadiums ever built. It was so windy in that stadium. I guess you can't get
Well,
windburn.
yeah.
in San
Why
Francisco.
is Pebble Beach not windy
get-
and Candlestick is windy?
No, but
Come on, dude.
I didn't realize they were that close together, to be honest with you.
It's the Bay Area, brother.
All right, I digress. There's my first I digress. Let's go over to the booth here. To my right, it's our producer, Alex. What up, my man?
Nothing much. What's up with you?
Everything good? You have a good weekend?
Yeah, just ready for a good show.
Okay. How did the short report go?
It was good. Everyone should go over to our YouTube channel right now. Whenever you do a Lions player, it's going to get views, and a lot of people liked it. So go to YouTube, Woodward Sports. Amon-Ra St. Brown was last week's episode on the short report.
All
and
right.
this week, stay tuned. I think I'm going to do it on Robbie Grossman this week.
I love him. He's my second favorite Tiger.
There you go.
Behind Akil Badu. And in the lounge chair, the best seat in the house, we got Andrew on social media. What's up, kid?
Nothing much. How's it going, everyone?
I got your hero here, Rod Beard.
Yeah, I know. You got my hero right here.
He's a basketball junkie, Rod, this kid. This kid, he'll write about the Pistons during a Super Bowl. He doesn't care.
It doesn't matter.
That's it.
Now, he's got a couple good years ahead of him now.
He does, man. This place, let me tell you, this young place that I work in is so pro-Piston. I think they're going to have a hell of a run going forward, fan-wise. You know, they're always the forgotten team. Am I
It's
right
number
there?
four, number
It is-
14.
It's number 4. They might
Right.
try to move up to number 3 when this is all said and done.
Maybe
No,
number
but the guys
Maybe number
around
2.
here are nuts about the Pistons. I mean, there's still
Yeah.
panties on the chandeliers
There
around
are.
here from when they got the number.
I know. They
one
can't
pick.
stop talking about Kate Cunningham. And we will talk about that, I promise you. It's
Is he
going to
coming
be a
here?
fun show. I heard he might be coming here. There's a
He'll come
rumor.
here at least for a workout.
There's a rumor they might draft him.
Maybe.
That's the rumor. I mean, and also, water is wet. That's
Exactly.
Let's get you started with my update. I'll throw it to myself. Go ahead, Mass. You're up. Okay, brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Don't forget, use that promo code Woodward and get your first deposit matched halfway up to $1,000. And don't forget, you can bet the NBA Finals, game number 6 tomorrow. We'll talk about that. Tigers are starting a 4-game set tonight with the Rangers in downtown at Comerica. Great matchup. Casey Mize, the future ace, going against Kyle Gibson, the all-star from Texas. That's at Comerica, 7:10 for the first pitch. Tigers finished off a 3-game sweep of the Twins yesterday, 7-0, 7 shutout innings from Willie Peralta. Where they got this guy from, I don't know, but people are not doing good against him right now. A home run, 3 RBIs by Jamer Candelario. Tigers now only 8 games under 500, guys. That's good.
That's
only 8
good.
games under 500.
Where?
Here.
Where's that good?
Here in Detroit, since 2014, 8 games under 500.
Yeah, people so
is
starved.
considered good.
It's not 30 games below 500. It's not a 16-game losing streak or something ridiculous like that. People starved here. And 30,000 at the ballpark Saturday.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
heard
sure
it was
you
a
were there.
hell of a crowd.
Painting the kitchen.
He was painting the kitchen. Hey, anyway, they're third in the AL Central, which is pretty good, but it's a terrible division. Won't say that. Rangers, meanwhile, they were shut out yesterday in a doubleheader against Toronto. 15-0. They lost the 3-game series 25-2. So the Tigers are getting a team that just got their ass kicked. So we'll see what happens tonight down at Comerica. Around the major leagues, Yankees took 2 of 3 from Boston. They stay alive in the AL East. They're still 7 back, though. But a dumb fan out in the outfield threw a ball at Red Sox outfielder Alex Verdugo. Check this out. That's it, dummy. And that dummy is now banned from every baseball park for life. Now,
What is wrong with our country?
I don't know, but I've heard that before. But really, how are they going to know that he can't walk into the Pittsburgh Pirates?
I was just going to say, how do you?
They'll have a picture of him at Yankee Stadium.
Okay, so they have a picture. There's 1 million people walking in. Who the hell's going to look at the picture?
Yeah, you can wear a disguise. I mean, it's not hard to wear a disguise. You could probably take it off when you're at your seat.
What are the odds on this guy getting into a ballpark?
100%.
Yeah,
he'll do that this weekend.
But he's banned for lifetime.
Maybe not Yankees, but he could probably go to like Detroit or Colorado and get an easy.
Boston will probably give him a front row seat.
But
not really. Yankee Stadium will give him a front row seat.
But the crazy thing is, and people don't want to have netting around Major League Baseball parks, this is part of the reason. Yeah. Balls coming out, but then just crap going in. And it's just escalating and escalating where we're seeing more of these fan things. Just, dude, calm down. It's not that serious. It's a game.
Yankee fans have put out the tweets now because all the Red Sox fans are calling Yankee fans a bunch of a-holes and all of that kind of stuff. There's always bad apples everywhere. But now the Yankee fans are putting out tweets from a couple of years ago. Matter of fact, I think it was last year. Giancarlo Stanton hits a bomb to the Green Monster. Someone catches it. And you know how you don't want to keep a ball if the opposing team throws it? Well, this guy hits Stanton on his way around second from all the way out in the outfield.
Sign him up.
Yeah,
sign him up. But they're like, how about this
iron.
guy? How about this guy? I'm like, I think it's a little different than, just hitting the poor outfielder that's standing there in between innings. I mean, it's a little bit different.
You should be impressed by the arm, man.
It was a hell of a play. It was like Roberto Clemente from back in the day. By the way, Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, his team lost, but he hit home run number 34.
Three-two. Ohtani, right center field, and deep, and gone! 34! Tracking the base.
Shohei, when he hits it, man, you can hear it. 34 for him. And did you see what he did for his All-Star game, his home run derby? All his money that he won on home run derby, he donated to where'd they play? They played in Colorado. He gave it to the Colorado, the kids that took care of the clubhouses and the PR people that worked the game. He made $150,000. He donated. He got checks for each of them the next day because they played in Colorado. The Angels did. He handed each one a check. Part of that $150,000.
He won money for finishing last?
Yeah.
That's great.
Money.
That's an appearance
finishing
fee.
last. Isn't that cool?
It is cool.
What's up, Fish?
Do you know who was commentating the clip we just watched?
That
Angels?
one, I think, was Jorge Orta. I'm not positive.
Does he do the Marlins?
I'm not sure. You might have
He
something
sounds
there.
familiar.
It wasn't
I'm
my
gonna look him
man,
up.
you know. It wasn't.
Well, because he was doing the ESPN game.
He was doing the East Bay. That's right. That was a good one last night. Yankees, of course, beat the Red
Maz,
Sox.
I also saw that a tweet that they were auctioning off game-worn uniforms from the All-Star game.
Yeah, I saw that.
And like they were averaging around $10,000 to like $20,000, where Ohtani's was up like above $100K.
It was 4 times at least the lowest guy. So people are on the Shohei bandwagon. Let's talk NBA. Bucks up 3-2. They can close out the Suns tomorrow. NBA Finals Game 6 from Milwaukee. Bucks looking for their first title in 51 years. They will tip it up at 9. What a finish in that game, and Devin Booker takes it down. We'll talk about this later, but when Devin Booker had that, they had their chance to go up. He went too deep.
Yeah, and Drew Holiday is going to take it from you. And that was a big signing for them, but one big play when you need it, if he doesn't do anything else, that play cemented his legacy there in Milwaukee.
I guess Booker figures, if I'm the big scorer, I'm supposed to take the best shot or the final shot. The problem is you're not supposed to do it in traffic.
No.
Nobody told him that.
He should have stopped at the top, maybe dished it or, just dribbled around till someone was open. He went into no man's land and they got him.
There's no perimeter defense in the NBA, so why not just take an open jump shot?
I thought he was going to come down and shoot because he had that game, man.
And that's what he's been doing.
Yeah.
That's been his MO.
It's killing
to try
him.
to get to the rack.
It's killing him.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about this. I'm not sure if they can come back or not, but I hope they can. Team USA, keep it in the hoops. They beat Spain yesterday, 83-76. That's their final tune-up before heading to Tokyo. Pistons Jeremy Grant back from health and safety protocols. He is part of that team officially. The Americans open pool play Sunday against France. I guess they'll be taking off here anytime now. And NFL Network, get ready for this, folks. Football season's coming. 17 days till the Hall of Fame game between Dallas and Pittsburgh. But the NFL Network is going to carry 23 preseason games. I know Terry's so excited to see those exhibitions.
I'm going to miss 22 of those games.
Are you?
Yeah, I'll watch one just for the hell of it.
Just for the hell of it. But they're going to make sure that you see Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones when they get to play.
That's nice.
So they'll
we
make
get to see
their
him play
debut.
for 10 minutes and they sit down.
Speaking of a great arm, very few people had a better arm than Dave Parker, the Cobra from Pittsburgh. Let's take you back to 1979. This day in sports, he throws a dart from right field right to the great Gary Carter in the All-Star game. Check it out.
Better, and baseball fans glad of it.
Line drive, right field. We may have a play at the plate. Big hop. Here comes Downing. Here's the throw. It is. He knocked him off the plate. What a tag by Carter. A tremendous play by Carter. Oh, baby, what a play.
And what a throw by Dave Parker.
Look at this thing.
Continues to show why some people consider him the greatest player in the game. One big hop. Watch it. Great play by Carter, as you said, Joe. A strong throw. Downing tries to slide inside, away from the ball.
He blocked
Carter
the plate.
blocks him
He
off.
blocked the plate.
He knocked him right off the plate.
It's
Never
old school,
did let him
brother.
in. How Carter was able to catch that ball.
That's a slow catcher running home, by the way, in Brian Downing. But hell of a play. And love those uniforms from those Pittsburgh Pirates. They won. That was We Are Family.
My favorite uniform is that Pirates hat with the yellow stripes around it.
Hell of a team, man. Hell of a team. So that brings you up to this day in sports. We got plenty more coming up. We got the big hook coming up after this. If you missed it over the weekend, it's tragic what's happening in our world. And now it reaches the sport of baseball. A shooting at the Nationals and Padres game. We're going to show it to you. We're going to talk about it. Our good friend Rob Parker was at that game. He'll join us as well right here. Woodward Sports Network, keep it here on The Hook. Tom Mazaway alongside Terry Foster and Rod Beard right here on Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Start a new career in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu.
Long lost fish.
Fish with the read. I love it. Northwestern Tech. You got to pay fish this week. Welcome back to Woodward Sports and The Hook. Tom Mazaway, Terry Foster, Rod Beard in the house, Darren McCarty, of course, golfing, because that's what he does in the summer. Pilara's off today. She'll be back tomorrow. I want to tell you about our 25K kick for crypto. Guess what? The final is this Friday, folks. This Friday. And where's it going to be? You're finally going to tell you. It's at the Imagine Theater in Novi at 12 Mile Crossing at the Fountain Walk. And we'll tell you more about it, but it's this Friday. We're going to start drawing names at 3:30. So anyone that has won a prize here, and we're going to do it again at 4 o'clock today, whoever's won a prize, you're going to come collect your prize. And if we pick your name, you're going to get to be the one to try to kick it in that Jeep, kick it in that thing, keep it in there, and you'll win yourself $25K in crypto. More coming up a little bit later.
It's 3:30 on Friday, right?
Yep, 3:30.
Okay.
Well, 3 o'clock is arrival time.
Yep.
3:30, we're going to do the drawing to knock it down from, let's say, 75 people or 80 people down to the final 10. And then those 10 people have a chance to kick it. You think you can kick a 30-yard punt or drop kick into the back of a Jeep truck?
It's toughy.
$25K on the line.
Yeah, you can do it there for $25,000.
I can try.
Here's what I want to know: where they're going to kick it? Because you know that parking lot gets full on a Friday. There's a theater. There's B-Dubs. There's Bar Louie. There's Cold Stone. There's Black Rock.
We're going to have our own area.
Okay, all right.
We're going to have our own area.
People are going to be mad if they don't have a place to park.
Terry, I'm sure they figured it out.
All right,
they've had a month and a half.
I'm a troubleshooter.
No, I know, and I appreciate that. I just want you to know that I'm sure they figured it out because it's a month and a half they've known about it.
Because they don't figure stuff out here sometimes. I just want to make sure that you knew.
No, you're
Friday's
right.
a very busy day.
It is.
At Fountain Walk.
Should be fun, and we're going to have it live here on The Hook. They're going to kick it during our show, so we will bring it to you live if you cannot make it out there. So I was telling you at the break, this terrible shooting on Saturday night at the Nationals and Padres game in Washington, D.C. 4 shots ringing out. Now, we're going to play this for you. First, I want to, let's play the second video there, Alex. It's the one that says gunshot vid. Let's listen to the announcers as they take it to the break, and take a listen. You're going to hear 4 pops in this, and this is when the players kind of knew something was going bad.
Slider up in the zone. Gets Myers swinging. Padres put 3 more on the board. 8-4.
I counted 7 shots. 7 pops. That is in the concourse. In the concourse of that stadium. Guys, we go to a baseball stadium. That's the last thing on our minds. Terry.
You feel safe at a baseball game, but you know what? This society that we're living in, and you know this is nothing new, but it's just scary. People have been cooped up. Now they have a little freedom, and now with their freedom, I can just do whatever I want to do. You don't go to a baseball game with a gun, first of all, and then bust a cap in somebody's
How'd
ass.
you get in there? Don't they pat you down anymore?
They do. I was there Father's Day weekend at Nationals Park, and you get you go through the metal detectors. They kind of check and see if you've got anything there. It just depends on how diligent the person is to make sure if it beeps and if they do the wand and all of that.
Bro, have you seen the people that check you in there?
Yeah.
They're all like 90 years old.
It depends on how diligent they are with that. That's my one caveat.
Man.
What are you sure it was in the concourse? Wasn't it outside the stadium?
It says in the concourse, so it could have been the concourse outside the stadium, but it was on the stadium grounds.
Yeah, because I was heard.
Those were initial reports.
The
initial reports always change as more information comes in.
We're going to have Rob Parker. He was at that game. He's going to come on. Put on Andrew's microphone. He's going to tell us something as well.
Yeah, my brother's friends were at that game.
Wow.
Yeah, they're at the game. So my brother, he got a text from his friends saying, I showed up my brother like, hey, like, see what happened in the Nationals game? My brother was like, yeah, my friends were there. They were at the game. They heard the gunshots. They thought they were in the stadium. They heard they were outside the stadiums. And they ran to the hotel, and they were just in their hotel the rest of the night. It was crazy.
People were hiding in closets. They were running into concession stands. Players were helping. I'll show you a video of players helping people off, their family, obviously, but other people, getting them in the dugout and getting them to safety. Let's put up the scoreboard message that finally came up to tell people what to do here at Nationals Park, and there it was. And it's basically, this was after a few minutes. They didn't know what was happening. People just started taking matters into their own hands and just going for it. And this next video I'm going to show you, you'll see Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado. There's another player as well trying to help the fans at the game. Check this out.
At the ballpark. ballpark where they would be manning their cameras. They have been notified to leave. And they're moving these people definitely in this area down there on the right. And some are coming off from the stands into the Nationals dugout to get away. Yeah, people are letting the dugout into the Padres dugout now too.
That's a freaking ball game, man. And we got plenty more coming up. Our good friend Rob Parker, nice enough to join us. He's on vacation. Of course, I had to call him. He's not on West Coast time today. At least he's on East Coast time. And Rob Parker, welcome to the show. We're glad you're okay, and we're sorry what happened, man, over the weekend.
Three of my favorite people in Detroit. Unbelievable. My God.
I just want to make sure you didn't get shot.
No. And let me correct. It was outside the stadium.
Okay.
On the concourse, it was two people in cars shooting at each other, and a third person got shot. But I was sitting on the first base side near right field with three of my buddies, and when we heard the pops, I knew they were gunshots, and I was like, what is going on? I look up, and I see people screaming, not like walking, running to, and Rod, you notice you've been to Nationals Park. Center field is a big entrance and exit to the stadium, and they were running to get out of the center field, exit. And when I saw that, then I looked down on the field. There were no players on the field, no umpires, nobody in the dugout. So I knew something was going on. I said to my buddies, hey, let's get out of here. We get out of our seats. We go up to the concourse. And as soon as we get in the concourse and start heading for the center field exits, all of a sudden, people are running towards us with horror on their face. So it frightened me because I was like, the only reason people would be running like that is because there's a gunman or two coming this way shooting people. So me and my buddies, we burst into a office that was used to, for concessions, and ran into a closet, and basically was in there with like 9 other people trying to stay out of the way, not knowing what was going on. And literally, I had never been more scared in my life because I really thought there was a shooter in the stadium shooting people. I had no idea.
Rob Parker, a good friend from Fox Sports, of course, back here in Detroit. We still call him our own. And he's got a great website now, mlbbro.com. We saw his story today on Deadspin. Check him out. But, Rod, go ahead. You got something for your man, Rob?
No, it's just when you said it earlier, Maz, when you're in a ballpark like that, you let your guard down. And for a lot of people, they're not paying attention to the game or keeping score. But when you see something like that, it's hard to react to it. Your instinct is just to kind of figure out, like Rob said, what's going on. Because it's not even like you're in a mall or you're somewhere else. In a baseball park, that's the last thing that you think is going to happen.
It's true.
No doubt about it.
And I was going to say, but we live in a society where there are active shooters and snipers. I mean, you could be at a concert. You can be at a ball game. I mean, you just never know when something stupid like this is going to happen. It even happens in schoolyards. So you never know.
And Terry, your point is, well, that's why I didn't take anything for granted. I had no other way of thinking. If people are running towards you, right, and they have a look of terror and the screams of the women screaming, I thought to myself, my God, what is happening here? And my first reaction or instinct was to find a place to hide because I just didn't know what was coming behind those people. And as we found out later, it happened outside. There was never a gun or a shooter inside the stadium, but it didn't feel like that. It was a terrifying moment, on vacation, hanging out. And it was a great night to just watch baseball, hang out with your friends. We had seen Tatis go 4 for 4. You know what I mean? The weather was great. Hot dogs taste good. It was a nice night. I was enjoying it.
Rob Parker joins us. I heard that when you guys ran into that utility closet, there was a woman there that had, didn't she have post-traumatic syndrome? And she was very, very upset. You guys talked her down?
Absolutely. She was distraught and crying. She was a worker, and she didn't have her medication, and people comforted her. And then there was another little boy and a father who was separated from the mom and I think a sister, a 5-year-old boy hiding under a desk wearing a Tatis shirt and Padres hat. And we had to calm the young man down as well, that it's going to be okay. But I can imagine how traumatic that was for him. And it was so chaotic that people were being separated from their family and friends. One of my buddies, Fred, was separated from the group I was with because there was just a crush of people and you couldn't go where you wanted to. You know what I mean? You were like steered to go because the crowd would push you. It was amazing.
Yeah, I think the secondary thing that you should be thankful for, no one in the stadium were shot, but there was no stampede where people were killed or injured and stuff like, because this is exactly how stampede begins.
And you know what, Terry, you're right. I saw some people fall, but it wasn't like a stampede, but somebody could have been seriously hurt. It was amazing that nobody did because it was sheer panic and nobody really knew what was going on. And we didn't get a message until we saw on a TV screen that they said it was safe finally to leave the stadium. But up until that whole time, it seemed like it was a 2-hour ordeal, but it probably more like 20 or 30 minutes. But when it finally was over, then we realized, okay, we can leave. But up until that point, I had no idea. I never saw any cops, never saw any security people, never heard a PA announcement. So I didn't know what was going on. And it's scary when you don't know.
Rob Parker, Fox Sports, joins us. He was at the Washington Nationals and San Diego Padres game. That active shooter outside the stadium now, we find out, at Nationals Park on Saturday night to stop the game. I think it was the 6th inning or so. But I want to show you guys a piece of video and listen to this audio. This is an 8-year-old girl. They interviewed her after the game. She was at a game. They interview her. Listen to her answer.
I just saw people looking that way, and I didn't know what was going on until I heard someone say get down, so I just started going under the seats.
Oh my gosh, how are you feeling?
It was my second shooting, so I was kind of prepared, because I always am expecting something to happen.
It was my second shooting. I always expect something to happen.
That is unbelievable. That's for an 8-year-old girl to have experienced that and to be like, okay, yeah, I'm expecting something bad to happen. Wow.
And you know what, guys? You know how you can tell Rob is from New York? I'm sure people there didn't know if it was firecrackers or gunshots.
He knew.
Rob knew right away. Oh, no, these are gunshots.
Oh, no. Hey, Terry, you're 100% right. I know a firecracker from a gunshot. Right. And I was like, those are shots. There was no doubt in my mind. And thank God no one was killed and nothing serious. But I'm sure there's going to be a reinforcement of, security at all major league ballparks, even though the gun wasn't inside. And you know this, Rod, at baseball stadiums, it's not enclosed, so you can see what's going on in the street. And I'm sure when they heard the shots, they could see what was going on, and that's why they ran, because those bullets can come through the fencing.
Yeah, and more than that, you got the apartment buildings that are right outside that outfield fence. So when you start thinking about active shooter, it could be somebody in the apartments who's sniping down. You have no idea. So I can imagine the chaos that's going on and just trying to figure out where to go, what to do. And the point that you mentioned about the friend getting separated, I mean, that's what my son and I do every time we go is we might just walk around and be away from our family or friends that we go with. So that separation is the other piece, is that you're wondering if everybody's okay that came with you or that you're hanging out with that particular day. So it's just chaos and anxiety. But, good job, America. We've got this gun control thing all under control here.
Oh.
I wish we did. My God. Hey. But I'm on my vacation. Next stop is Chicago. I'm going to a White Sox game. Then I'm going to St. Louis for a Cubs-Cardinals game.
Love it.
Then I'm going to Cincinnati for a Reds game. So baseball is all throughout my vacation, and I think the worst is behind me. So I'm hoping I'm going to enjoy some good baseball and eat a lot of good food, guys. So I appreciate you having me on, too.
Yeah, no Comerica Park?
He's been here.
No, well, I was in Detroit already earlier this year, so not on this trip.
He's trying to see good baseball.
Oh,
it is good baseball.
No, they're above 500 since May 16th or something.
Oh, my
Very
goodness.
nice.
Here we go.
Rob,
Here we
enjoy
go.
the rest of your day. Thanks for taking time out of your lunch.
See you, buddy boy.
See you, Rob.
Always, guys. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, before you go, MLBBro.com. What is it?
Yes, check out the website. Rod Beard wrote a freelance piece, a beautiful piece about going to baseball games with his sons. We loved it. We cover black and brown players, leagues. It's a fun site. It's insightful. You can follow all the black and brown players in the league. I'm excited about it, and give it a chance. MLBBro.com.
Thanks, Rob. We appreciate you, man.
Be good.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Rob Parker joins us on the hook. So there you go, guys. You couldn't get a better guy to talk about the story than that.
That is true, but we made a huge mistake.
What was that?
None of us said, come on.
Come on, man.
It's a little heavy. Topic's a little heavy, so.
It was. I couldn't bring up, do you think the White Sox are going to win now? Because I think the White Sox take it off the sheet here and win the World Series this year as they sit now. I still think there's a deal to be made here before the July 31st trade deadline. I think the White Sox are going to come out smelling like roses. I think the Yankees are cooked. Red Sox look too good for them. Astros, I think they're going to peter out. I really believe.
Now, when the Yankees are done, isn't baseball done for you?
No, I'm a baseball. I'm a junkie. Plus, the Mets are in first though for a couple of more weeks.
Oh, I thought you couldn't like both teams.
No, you know
in New
I
York.
do. I like all my teams.
Terry, the only team he hates is the Rangers.
Rangers, New York Rangers. That's the only New York team I don't root for.
Why? Why the Rangers?
Because my friends were all Ranger fans. I was an Islander fan, and then when the Devils came to town, that even made it even more powerful.
It's a whole thing, Terry.
I can't get into it.
I need to refresh your course on.
You do.
On Maz.
You do. And don't forget, 4 o'clock coming up, we have our qualifier for the Kick for COVID. 25 Kick for COVID. Kick for crypto. 25K in crypto. This Friday is going to be the finale, and it's going to be at the Imagine Theater in Novi. Plenty more coming up on that. Our good, bad, and ugly coming up right after this on The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Hey, gang, it's Maz for our good friends at Legacy Partners Insurance. If you need a new insurance company, I got the one for you. They're an independent agent, so they work for you. Not only that, they've been around for over 100 years. They're independent, so they get lots of quotes. They make the carriers compete for your business. They shop between 7 and 10 carriers for personal. That means your car and your home. Or if you're a business owner, they have 50 carriers they shop for your commercial insurance needs. They've been doing this since 1919. You can trust them. It's a no-brainer. If you haven't had your insurance quoted this year, give them a try. 586-209-4106. And don't forget, legacypartnersins.com/Woodward Sports. Takes you to a landing page. They ask for your name, your number, email address if you want to give that, and then they will give you a call. All you got to do is give them a copy of your papers, your home insurance and your auto insurance. They'll shop for you. If they can beat the deal, great. If they can't, you lost nothing. It cost you nothing. Give them a try. Tell them Matt sent you from Woodward Sports. And we're back on The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. Tom Mazaway alongside our good friends Terry Foster and Rod Beard in for Darren McCarty and Pollard today. Fisher's here, Andrew on social media, and of course Alex. Hey, Adam's in the house as well, the chic of the spread. And we do it every Monday. It's the good, bad, and ugly from the weekend.
Caught me off guard, Maz.
How could I catch you off guard when you knew it was the good, bad, and ugly?
I know. I was too into your legacy commercial.
I said good, bad, and ugly. I even promoted it.
That's what I was expecting.
I could have sworn I promoted it.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, here we go. See how they stick me with the ugly, by the way?
I disagree with that. You're not an ugly man.
I appreciate that, T.
You might be bad, but you're not ugly.
Thank you. That makes me even feel better. I'm going to start it off so you guys can play along at home. D-Mac, of course, he'd be ready for it, but I got to get my guys ready. Here we go. My good, It's the Detroit Tigers. They looked phenomenal this weekend. Yes, they played the Twins. But the Twins beat them 4 games last weekend before the All-Star break. Kind of got everyone here in Detroit in a bad mood. We got the big bad Twins, and we beat their ass. Friday was supposed to be a doubleheader. We missed that, but we took the next couple. So there you go. That's my good. My bad, I told you about it earlier. It's the guy at Yankee Stadium, the idiot in the stands that threw a ball at the outfielder for the Red Sox, Alex Verdugo. Alex did, kind of make a big deal out of it. And I told you about Giancarlo Stanton getting hit at Fenway a couple of years ago. But you can't do that. Do not throw anything on the field, especially at the players. Although, back in the day, Reggie Jackson, former New York Yankee, he would welcome it. They used to throw pennies at him, and he would just put his arms up and say, come on. Then when the Reggie bar came out, did you guys ever have a Reggie bar?
I did.
Bar.
They would throw, and they gave them out as, when you went into the game, they gave you Reggie bars. You know how many Reggie bars were on the field around? And he just kept laughing, bowing. He knows how to put a show on, but don't throw at the players, you idiots. And ugly, of course, we just went through it. The Nationals and the Padres game on Saturday, that active shooter outside at Nationals Park had to clear the field. People were obviously scared for their lives, running for cover. They didn't know what was happening, if the shooter was inside or out. We played the video. You heard those 7 shots ring out. Rob Parker joined us. He was at that game. Andrew, our good buddy here on social media, his friends were at the game as well. Man, it can't get uglier than that. And I don't blame you if all 3 of us had that as our ugly. But you might think out of the box a little bit. So for more, we go to Rod Beard.
Well, my good, I'm going to start with the Milwaukee Bucks taking a 3-2 lead, winning Game 5 in 51 years since the last time they won a championship. They're right on the precipice now. They can close this out in Game 6 if they're able to pull it off, or maybe even in Game 7. My bad is the COVID scare on Team USA, and not just the basketball team. We know about Brad Beal from the Wizards not being in the Olympics, not being able to travel. Zach LaVine, news just came across that he's also in the health and safety protocol. He may have to travel later to Tokyo if he's able to participate at all. And Coco Gauff, the tennis player, also had COVID, tested positive for COVID. She's not going to be able to play. My ugly is one play, including your Mets playing the Pirates. It was just an infield dribbler. Look at this thing. It's foul.
It's a dribbler.
Curves back in. Taiwan Walker completely misplays this thing. 3-run score off that.
Because they're yelling at the umpire instead of going after the ball.
I hope to coach my son's travel team, and this is the type of play that they would make is not just paying attention and being completely unfocused. 3 runs on that dribbler.
That's unbelievable. But to make it worse, as a Pirate fan, people watching that, and the Pirates have been in some wild plays this year. They lost that game in the 9th inning to the Mets after having a 6-0 lead.
That's an ugly play for a good team like the Mets to be making and to lose focus like that.
There you go. Terry?
All right. My good is I was watching the Barbasol Open or something.
I don't know why you were watching that first.
Let's start with why. Here's why. Because the British Open starts at 4 in the morning and it's, golf at more. I don't watch golf in the morning. So, they were playing. They had this playoff. It went 8 holes with some dude named
8 extra holes.
8 extra holes. They kept going from the 18th to the 9th hole to the 18th back to the 9th hole. And the way they did is you had to play the 18th twice, the 9th hole twice, and then they just kept tying. And then finally, one of the guys, I think his last name was Noah, hit one in the sand, and that was it. So that was fun. Since I didn't watch the British Open.
So you didn't watch a single minute of the British Open?
No, it's too early in the morning.
But it ended at 2:30. Is that too early in the morning?
Dude, 2:30, I'm either drunk or in bed. Or both.
We're talking PM, not AM.
No, it was in the morning. Well, I couldn't find it. How about that?
Well, it's on NBC. Everyone has NBC.
Look, stop yelling at Terry.
I'm not yelling at him. I'm asking. I'm asking a question.
Tiger Woods wasn't in it, so I wasn't watching.
Okay.
The bad is me. I'll admit this. Ooh. I did something bad this weekend on Twitter. Surprise, surprise. I wrote, the big lie is not Donald Trump saying that the election was stolen. The big lie is Rob Parker saying he beat me in a boxing match at the Palace. That never happened. That's the big lie.
Why didn't you say something to him when he was on?
Because last time I talked to him, every time I talk to him, I bitch about it.
Of course.
So I can't.
That's okay.
Say it every time.
Sure you could.
Sure you can.
Because you know he's going to change his story.
Sure.
That's a come on, Terry.
So
come on, Terry.
tell
You
me.
know I got you with that uppercut.
What really happened then? You didn't box?
We boxed. I beat him. I knocked his headgear off.
Ooh.
I chased him to the corner, and he was like this. Ooh, stop it.
Honestly, what years was that? Was that back in the early 2000s or 90s?
It was the 90s.
In the 90s, at the Palace.
When I could still move.
We're trying for a rematch of that.
I want video of that ass kicking. That's what I want.
No cell phone footage. Where would we get?
I was gonna say you gotta
ask. The Pistons have it because it was at the Palace.
We'll talk to KG.
And I talked to Corey. And he says they got everything that's ever been filmed at the Palace. They got somewhere.
Can you tell KG to return my calls too while you're there?
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
I know.
He won't return his calls.
Right. I've got to get mine returned
KG,
first.
what did I do? I've been asking for Ben Wallace for 2 months.
He was at lottery night.
I know. I was here.
Should have been there.
Yeah. All right. What's your
and the ugly is the Nationals shooting. You know, to me is why have we turned into animals since the pandemic is over? And I know stuff like this always happens, but it seems to be more that we need to check ourselves as the nation. Yes, we have our freedom, but doesn't mean you have to act like an asshole. So I didn't like that. Baseball to me is a safe sport. When you go to a game, whether it's the Pistons or Red Wings, you should feel safe, especially in the arena, outside the arena. And to me, this kind of broke a sacred trust that we have in our national fabric. So that's the ugly, and I hated that happened.
Now, you guys, it's not like this, but you guys were at Malice at the Palace? Were you guys there that night?
I was not there. I was covering the website that night.
How about you, T? Were you there?
I was not there. I was going to go, and then I stopped somewhere and saw this brawl, and I said, "Let me watch this on TV."
Man, I was going to try to compare it. I mean, what's the closest here in Detroit that we've come to something like that? I don't know. Maybe the riots of '68 when the Tiger, Willie Horton was walking on the streets and trying to
tell
people
this?
to go
1984. When the Pistons, not the Pistons, but the Tigers
won
the World Series. And it started as a peaceful celebration, and then all of a sudden you were flipping cars, setting cars on fire. In fact, I saw the car that Bubba sat on.
I was going to just ask you, Bubba.
Right, Bubba. I saw the police car, and it was toppled over, and there was gasoline pouring from it. And then people were like, "Oh my God, look at this!" And then this one guy just lit it on fire, and that was Bubba.
And Bubba has since passed, I think. I think I've read that he passed years ago. But yeah, I guess that would probably be as close to this as you go. But that was like a celebration. This was just something that happened.
Just spontaneous,
Did we find out? Did they catch the guy?
I haven't seen anything
at Washington Park, at Nationals Park?
I haven't seen anything.
No, here's something that happens every year. Every time the Pistons win a championship, and you can mark this down next time they do that, somebody gets shot near the Coney Islands downtown.
Really?
Yes.
You mean Lafayette and American?
Lafayette and American.
Okay, let's hope that doesn't happen.
We don't want it to happen, but that's sort of, it's a million miles from the Palace, but it's a...
So it's happened the 3 times that they've won in your lifetime.
Yeah, they get shot, American and Coney Island. Okay. Not inside of it, but around it.
Okay, well, that's the kick. To stay out of downtown Detroit, I guess.
You're essentially there if you're at Little Caesars Arena and it happens there. You're essentially
it's
right
no more
there.
at the Palace, man. It is down there now.
Oh. So that means when the Pistons win their next championship, somebody will probably get shot at National, Coney Island, and Royal Oak or something like that. It won't happen downtown.
Yeah, it could be.
All right.
Switcheroo.
Let's hope not. It's a preemptive strike against that. Hey, we got more. Speaking of the NBA, we're going to talk NBA game number 6 tomorrow. It's the Bucks. They're in line to win their first title in 51 years. Can the Suns force a Game 7? It will be back home in the Valley of the Sun. Plenty more coming up with Rod Beard, Terry Foster right here on Woodward Sports Network. On the Hook.
Welcome to the newest Bridge Street Exchange, not only in downtown Fenton, now in the Somerset Collection. Located on the 2nd level, south side, right next to Lululemon and Starbucks. This is where you can get all the hottest barware or men's grooming products, or clothing. Or, oh, that's what you meant. Don't forget they got some cool hats too, and there's a lot of great local Michigan-owned companies that you're supporting.
And don't forget, all under $3.
You're such a loser. But for real, take advantage. 15% off if you come in here. Tell Kevin that Woodward Sports sent you. Or stop.
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. Tom Mazaway alongside Terry Foster, Rod Beard. Subbing in for Darren McCarty, who's out golfing, probably killing it today, having a good time. He's always out there for charity. Maybe we'll get him on the show before the day's up. Pilar's got the day off. She'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, let's go to Fish for our update on our other shows here. Why don't you tell us about our other shows that are on the network, Fish?
Well, the Morning Wood show is from 8 to 10, and the Baligian Bell show is from 11 to 1. All shows are Monday through Friday.
There you go. And don't forget, what do we got coming up on Friday? Speaking of that, what's our final on?
The Kick for Crypto, which is happening during this show.
And we're going to have it. Hey, before we talk NBA.
There's something else on Friday.
What else?
You guys don't know?
Oh, what is it?
You guys really don't know?
This Friday?
Yeah.
The 23rd. Oh, yeah. No.
If you don't know, just admit
I did know. I did know because I said, why is that on? It's on the same day as our Kick for Crypto. Well, what is it, Fish?
Why don't none of you? This just disappoints me that none of you know. The Olympic opening ceremony.
Oh, the Olympics. And the NHL draft. That's it. NHL draft.
If they have the Olympics.
I know.
They'll have the Olympics. They do this for all the sports.
If there are no fans, did it really happen if there are no fans?
Well, there's cameras.
Because you got
TV.
NBC. That's all that matters.
Okay, so Rod, can I take away the Lakers last year? Can I take it away?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Take that, scratch that off. I read something today. Who wrote it? It might have been Ron Parker. He says this series reminds him, he says the Suns this year remind him of the Heat last year. Do you believe that? Is that similar? You on that same wavelength? I think the Heat were more of a shock to be there.
I guess Phoenix could be because most people didn't think they'd get by the Lakers,
But they
and
were
certainly by the
two-seed.
Clippers.
But they were a
even
two-seed.
still, none of these guys have playoff experience except for Chris Paul and Jay Crowder to a certain degree.
Yeah, but the main reason they didn't think they'd get past the Lakers because Phoenix doesn't get past anybody, and the Lakers are an iconic franchise. So I think that was the main reason why.
Play the clip, Maz. I knew they were going to get past the Lakers. I knew what was going on.
Do we have Rod Beard's clip? I should have reminded you. We can get that before the day is over because Rod Beard did pick. I think he took the Nets and Suns. Or did he take the Bucks and Suns?
I think I said the Nets, but the Suns were there.
I had the Nets and Clippers, so I had the two losers, and of course they didn't disappoint. They're not there, but the Suns are there. And we'll get you that clip because Rod Beard was all over.
And Rod, you have to understand, it doesn't matter what most people think. It's what did you think?
I picked it. I wrote it. It's in print. It is there for posterity. I did say that they would get by the Lakers in the first round.
So you're a pro.
Hang on, I got it for you.
Let's hear it. It's in posterity here.
Here we go.
Beard have going to the NBA Finals, and who does he have winning?
I'm going to stick with Phoenix because I started there early in the playoffs. I'm going to stick with Phoenix, and I'm going to say Milwaukee, and that's just going to be a Titanic NBA Finals. It's not going to register on the fan meters and the NBA interest meters, but I think it's going to be an intriguing series to watch.
You can't hit it better than that. Congratulations on that.
And probably when he said it, there's a bunch of people saying he don't know what he's talking about.
No, I thought it was going to be
that
close.
means it's Monday when people say I don't know what I'm talking
I thought it was
about.
going to be close. Of course, Rod Beard writes for the Detroit News, and he writes about our Detroit Pistons, who are having a renaissance all of a sudden because you know who's coming to town. NBA draft coming up at the end of this month, and they have the #1 pick. I still have it on my DVR of Adam Silver. No, who picked it? It wasn't Adam Silver. Who was there? Deputy Commissioner
Mark Tatum.
Mark Tatum was there, and of course Ben Wallace was there, and it was beautiful. I still have that little 30 minutes on my DVR. I will keep that.
Now, Ben Wallace is the godfather around here now. I thought you were going to say Ben Simmons was coming here.
No, not yet, but we'll go.
Terry, you're feeding the monsters out there.
Am I? Oh, I don't know.
Maz, you do realize there's something called the internet where you can just whip out your phone and have it for you instead of having to have it at your house.
But it's on my DVR, so I could watch it at any time I want.
It's
But doesn't it have to be at your house?
But it's a relic of the VCR era where you have to say, I have this videotape somewhere with this thing on it.
I still have lots of VHS tapes.
Well, you could also use the phone. So that way, if you're at a restaurant, you're like, ooh, I'm feeling, watching the Pistons #1 lottery at dinner.
Well, thanks for telling me that, Fish. I appreciate that.
I just want you to know that's the thing.
Let's talk about Game 6 tomorrow. It's going to be in Milwaukee. I mean, what do they call the outside? Deer Valley or what?
Deer something. Yeah,
Deer something. I mean, that place, when they show the outside of that place, you know what I think about? I think about Little Caesars Arena because we have a courtyard like that has been empty because we haven't had any teams there that have been doing well. But can you see?
I was going to ask, how does that remind you of an empty courtyard?
Because I put that 2004 Piston team on that floor at Little Caesars Arena, and what does that outside look like?
Probably the same, but there was no arena there, so.
I know, but there is now. Rod, do you see that in the future of the Pistons?
I see it in the future because you're going to have opportunities to do that where you're going to sell out LCA and you're going to have people who want to be around and see what's going on inside and just hang out in the summertime. I mean, the NBA schedule's a little bit crappy where it doesn't give you that, but if they're playing in the playoffs and they were still playing right now, you would have people outside there watching the big screen and really rooting on that team.
You remember Terry the Red Wings? They used to have the Joe Vision.
That is true. There was Joe Vision. But, when they built that courtyard, one of the first things they said, they thought that a lot of Lion fans would go there when Ford Field was packed.
Yeah.
Ford's Field was packed, and they thought Lion fans would gravitate there and buy pizza and all kinds of crap. So that has not happened yet.
I'm just looking forward to that day here in Detroit because I know it's coming, man. I see the light at Comerica Park. I truly do. I'm not just a slappy. I truly see it. And for the first time in a long time, before Matt Millen came to town, I see the light at Allen Park. I see the light at the Dome.
Okay, Maz, here's my question to you.
That light is the sun.
No,
it just means it's the morning.
When they do that, when they have the little courtyard filled, are you going to be down there with the people?
Yeah.
Are you going to be up in the press box? Oh, this is so cute. Look at all the little fans down there. And you're going to be waving at them like the
Maz is a
emperor.
man of the people. Maz will be down there with a cigar and a hot dog.
Let him answer the question. Where are you going to be?
I never sit in my press seats. I always go sit in the stands when I go to the Palace or now Little Caesars Arena. Always.
So you're going to be in the courtyard? Are you going to go out the building?
I'm going to be in the court. I'm going to be inside. But if I don't have a press credential, if KG never calls me back again, I'll be outside.
I'll see what I can do.
Fans. All right, thanks, man. Just, me and him, we go back a ways. I don't think I did anything wrong, but nonetheless, I digress. Let's take a Game 6 tomorrow. Milwaukee and the Suns. Milwaukee, 51 years. Last time they won a championship, Lou Alcindor was playing, who now is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They lost in 74 in the follow-up year. Boston beat them in that one. The Suns have been in 2 NBA Finals. Haven't won either. One was with Charles Barkley. One was the shot heard around the world, Garfield Hurd, back in 76 against the stinking Celtics when they should have won that triple overtime game. But, again, the Suns have never won. They've been around for 53 years. So something's got to give. I've enjoyed the hell out of this series. And I wasn't really excited at the beginning, but the basketball is very good. Very good.
Yeah, it's a contrast in styles, and you're seeing the big man and Giannis, whatever he is, if he's a big man, a small big man, or a small big man, whatever you want to call it, he's emerged as being an everyday household name, even if you can't pronounce his name. And that's what I like about this series is that people are getting to see Chris Middleton not just as the ex-Piston, but as an all-star Olympic-type player who can carry a team and can be that 1B to Giannis. And then by the same token, Devin Booker can be that type of guy. A lot of people just, they don't know the name and don't know what he's capable of. Pistons fans obviously do, but the common NBA fan is learning some of these players and what they can do, and that's going to help the brand of the NBA and certainly of these teams too.
You know what this final is all about? It's about how incompetent the Pistons have been in the past. They had Chris Middleton.
Yep.
They had Devin Booker. Or they could have had Devin Booker.
Yep.
They didn't draft him. And then, go back to the reason I keep bringing up Donovan Mitchell, who's not in the finals, is because when he came to the Palace for his workout, he showed out.
Yeah.
He kicked everybody's ass. I talked to an assistant coach that day. He said, I think I know who we're going to draft. It's this kid that was in here his name was Donovan. And he didn't tell me his last name, but he showed out. And then Stan Van Gundy didn't pick him.
Did Stan talk to your buddy, the one that told you not to take Darko? What was your buddy's name again?
Yosemite.
Yosemite?
I talked to a dude named Yosemite. No, seriously. He used to watch European basketball, and he told me, and he was a Piston fan, he said, go tell Joe Darko Milicic cannot play. He's a practice player, looks good in workouts, but he can't play. Tell him not to. So I went out there and told Joe, and Joe was like, who's this guy?
Who's Yosemite?
Who's Yosemite? I said, and then I had to fess up. He was a postman. So that's probably what blew it.
Oh.
But that was his hobby, watching European basketball. And he had told me about Dirk Nowitzki, and he told me Joe Klein couldn't play either.
Okay.
The old Celtic.
Yeah. And he couldn't.
Yeah. And
He was right about that one.
Yeah,
Spot on all the way around.
Did he talk about Mason Plumlee at all?
He did not. You talking about triple-double Mason Plumlee? Are you kidding me?
All right. So Bucks and Suns, Game 6. Who wins that game, Rod?
Here's what I do know.
Before Rod,
I'm sorry,
before you
Rod.
answer that, Terry, go ahead.
That whatever the experts say is going to happen will not happen. Because as I watch the entire playoff, is when you think you've got a team figured out or you got two teams figured out, the exact opposite happens in that opposing game. That's why I'm a firm believer. I don't believe in momentum between games and all that bullshit, that there are separate chapters. And I think what has happened is that throughout the entire NBA playoffs, that teams have been able to adjust better than they have in the past, and that I think other teams who've just won and quote unquote have momentum on their side, they kind of get the fat ass, and then they first thing they know, they're down 23-8. Now they may come back and tie it,
yeah, but they
end
ran
up
out of gas.
Yeah, they run out of gas and end up losing the game. So that's my prediction.
Well, I know Game 5 winners pretty much win.
I think it was like 83% or something like that of Game 5 winners. I think it's the Bucks. I think they go home and finish this out.
So Bucks and 6?
Bucks and 6. I think
just like Jabbar said.
They figured out the adjustments, and in the first two games, it was so critical that Giannis was able to come out in Game 1, and that decision to not sit him in Game 1, but just to put him out there and see what you've got. And that empowered them to say, hey, we're not playing shorthanded. Giannis may not be 100%, but he's good enough where we can win a game or two here. And they were able to make the adjustments and get it right.
How did this guy play again after that injury against the Clippers? If I watched that injury again,
Every
he
time.
was screaming on the court.
Every
How
time.
the hell
He's a man.
is he playing?
He's a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said he thought he was done for the year. He said he just thought it was done. But again, that's showing you where the league is now. And what I like about both of these teams is that they built it the right way. This wasn't we're going to go and get 4 and 5 superstars and make a mega team. They drafted Giannis properly. They made a trade early for Middleton, and they figured out the rest of this. And Phoenix did the same thing, drafted all of their guys, and when they knew they were right there after the bubble last year, went out and got Chris Paul and Jay Crowder to really put the icing on it.
And for whatever reason, they've convinced Giannis to stay, because he could have, said, I'm out of here. And even if he hadn't left yet, create enough noise where there's distractions and this team wouldn't bond because our superstar wants to get the hell out of here.
Hey, there's a rumor that going around. Maybe I started it, but LeBron went into his ear one time and he said, "Look, you're going to come play on the Lakers." And Giannis said, "No, get the hell out of here."
Nobody wants to play
Is
with
that true?
LeBron.
No, I hadn't heard that one. But the front office,
I just made it up.
Maybe he was. But the front office in Milwaukee too, they had the opportunity to tear this whole thing down but they kept biting at the apple and saying, we're close, let's make a couple of deals and make these things happen. And they got the right pieces to get to the finals this year.
This morning on Get Up with Mike Greenberg, Richard Jefferson, RJ, spoke about Giannis in loving terms.
If he wins this thing tomorrow night, what will this playoff run have meant for Giannis's legacy?
It's going to mean so much for him because he did it the most difficult way, to do it where you got drafted, to do it in a small market, to build to build from within. When you look at bringing in Chris Middleton and then going and getting the right pieces, going and giving the farm to get Drew Holiday. So it's not even just Giannis. You want to give a compliment to the Bucks organization, to the fan base, but really the fact that Giannis did it the hardest way possible, that not a lot of guys do, that it's a very special opportunity and a special championship if they're able to finish it off.
If that's not two of the greatest plays in one series in the history of the NBA, I don't think that you can name two more from the same guy.
Yeah, no, the dude he has the right nickname, Greek Freak. I mean, because he can do so many things offensively. The alley-oop just doesn't get enough cred because he was flying. It was like Grant Hill at Duke, just flying by the rim and just gets both hands on that ball and able to put that in.
And the block in the prior game, to turn that game's a 1-point game at that point.
Yeah, and every second of that play looks like it's going to be an easy dunk. And he
don't quit.
When he goes in the air, he covers the ground.
And he's on one leg.
Right. But my guy has been Drew Holiday, because I didn't know Drew Holiday was on the Milwaukee Bucks until a couple of days ago. Now he's playing defense, he's scoring, he's passing. Is that going to continue?
The question is, do you know how to spell Drew? Because everyone misspells his name.
J-D-R-U.
J-R-U-E.
Yes.
J-R-U-E. Everyone spells it wrong. But
he got the J right. That's the hardest part.
He did. But, hey, hats off to him. Great defense on CP3 the other night as well. They've just shut him down. Now, Chris Paul, if they lose this series, the guy's a Hall of Famer. We know that.
Sure.
Does it matter that if they lose this series?
No, not at all. Because they weren't supposed to be here. They took a road through. I mean, they certainly had a harder road, it would seem, to get here. But the fact that they got here is enough for them. For Milwaukee, they've been close for a number of years. They really needed to break through because Budenholzer that seat was starting to get warm there. Yeah. They need to win. Anything Phoenix does is icing at this point. They just really, like I said, some people thought they would lose in the first round, and really they weren't supposed to beat the Clippers either to get here. And now to win the first 2 games of this series, that you can't do much better than that for them.
The Bucks got skewered last year. Giannis is not a real leader. Giannis chokes. Budenholzer can't coach. So that whole organization, because they didn't win it last year, didn't go to the finals last year, the media was on their ass. So Milwaukee is the team that has the most pressure on it and has to win this. Chris Paul, his legacy is going to be, is he a top 3 point guard of all time? And I guess it's not a crime to say no, he's not going to be, because he's kind of disappeared in this series, and he's made uncharacteristic mistakes in the last couple games.
Dribbled off his leg the other day.
I don't know what's happened to this guy, but it just shows the difference between a true superstar and somebody who's just very good.
Is he just gassed? Is this at the end of his career?
I think so. I think that's some of it. But the injury, and they'll start talking about the injury now if they lose the series. They weren't talking about it when they were up 2-0. But it's hard. It shows you how hard, once you even get to the finals, that you've got to have a superhuman effort like Giannis is doing to carry a team to get over that hump.
Game 6 tomorrow night in Milwaukee. It should be good. A little bit after 9 o'clock, ABC. Mike Breen is bringing it like he always does. Jeff Van Gundy, Mark Jackson. I love those guys, man. That's a great team to listen to.
Absolutely.
They bring it every night. It should be fun. I hope it goes 7. I hope it's another 1 or 2 point game tomorrow. It's fun to watch. Thursday would be Game 7. That'll be fun to talk about and fun to watch. Hey, how about that dream team? You just heard Rod Beard say, another guy is going to be in COVID protocol, Zach LaVine from the Bulls. We're going to talk about that. Does this team have a chance to win the gold? Do they even give a damn? Because they don't remind me of the 92 team. That nobody was going to beat that team. I want to do a little comparison with my 2 basketball savants here after we take a quick break here on Woodward Sports Network. You're listening to The Hook.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Morning, Art. Morning, D-Mac.
Oh, that's the slow song. I don't want that one. Hold on. There you go. That's better. Fish, you got to keep me. You got to say, don't play number 13, Maz. Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. Detroit's only Detroit, of course, our only digital sports network here. We're all digital here, and of course, we're trying to do the best shows we possibly can. D-Mac out today, so's Pilar. So who do I bring in? Terry Foster and Rod Beard to help us. Got Fish in the Fish Tank, Andrew on socials, and my man Alex, my son Alex, in the producer's booth. I got a quick update for you before we get back to things here. Our update brought to you by mybookie.ag. Use that promo code Woodward. Get that first deposit matched halfway up to $1,000. You can bet that NBA final tomorrow. You can bet the Tigers and Rangers tonight. Two teams that may be going in the opposite direction. 4-game series starting tonight down to Comerica Park. Should be nice night for baseball. Great matchup. Casey Mize and Kyle Gibson. He was in the All-Star game. From Comerica, 7:10 for the first pitch. Both teams the opposite yesterday. Tigers swept the Twins. The Rangers got swept by Toronto 15-0 yesterday in a doubleheader. They were outscored in the 3 games 25-2. We'll see how it goes tonight. Bucks up 3-2 to try to close out the Suns tomorrow. NBA game 6 from Milwaukee. Team USA over Spain last night, 83-76. Their final tune-up. They'll head to Tokyo, but they're going to leave someone behind. Zach LaVine now under COVID protocol. They're calling it health and safety protocol. Jeremy Grant back from that. So the Pistons, comeback player of the year. Would you say that? What did he do this year? Was he
second for most improved? Second for most improved.
What? A pretty good signing for the Pistons nonetheless. He will be there. The Americans Open pool play Sunday against France. The NFL Network is going to carry 23 live preseason games, and they're going to have Trevor Lawrence on there, Justin Fields, Mac Jones. Don't forget, only 3 preseason weeks this year in the NFL. 17 real football games. The first game, 17 days away. Cowboys and the Steelers from Canton, Ohio in the Hall of Fame game. Let's go 25 years ago tonight. The great Muhammad Ali was right next to Terry Foster at the Atlanta Olympics lighting the torch. You believe they stopped the video right there before the damn thing lit up?
Yeah, I know.
I could not find the damn thing that would light up. Anyway, you were there.
I was there when that happened, and everybody said, "Oh, isn't this wonderful? Look at Muhammad Ali." And I was petrified. I said, especially when he put the torch out, I said, he's going to burn himself up. What are we watching?
I love Muhammad Ali, my favorite athlete of all time. And I just was so nervous when he was doing this. I really was. I didn't want to see anything bad happen.
That thing had to be remote controlled. That they could have just shut it off if.
I know.
Had to be.
I know. But what if he dropped?
No, but if it's on your sleeve, you can't remote control that.
What if he dropped that torch on Terry or someone down in the stadium?
No, I was across the stadium. I wasn't right next.
Were you next to Richard Jewell? The shooter of the Atlanta? Well, he's not the shooter. He was found innocent.
Almost got involved in that. The only reason, let me hear this. We were there prior to the shooting. I was there with Wojo, and the only reason we weren't there is because I was hungry. And
you were hungry, and not Wojo.
No, it was me.
Okay.
But I said, dude, I'm hungry as heck. Can we go somewhere? He said, oh yeah. So we left the shooting area.
Wow.
And we went to the underground. I tell you where we Johnny Rockets. Johnny Rockets saved our ass.
You could have been there.
I could have been there. In fact, we could have had shrapnel in our legs.
Thank God you weren't there.
So we left, and then after we ate, we looked at some stuff and everything. So we go back to our hotel.
What's going on here? What's going on?
No, I didn't go back to that area. I went back to my hotel, and I didn't have a cell phone then that worked, and so my hotel light was blinking, and it says you've got 25 messages. So what the? And so I pecked and said, "Are you okay?" Blah blah blah.
Dr. Fauci was checking on you.
I was not with Dr. Fauci at the time.
Okay,
I was with another wife.
Okay.
I've had 2 in my life. So, but then my family and Margot and everybody, and they said, "You okay?" And that's how I found out about the thing. I said, well, I was there, but I was hungry, and so I left. And they said, oh, thank God.
Thank God you
Thank
were
God
with
for
Rojo.
hunger.
Right.
Thank God.
And Johnny Rackets.
We were near where
How
the
was the burger?
bombing
Was
is.
it a good burger?
Oh, it's great.
You got the shake too? Because they're known for their shakes.
Yeah, I was trying to think. Was I dieting then? No, I had a shake that night.
Okay, good.
Because I was really hungry and hot. When you cover the Olympics in Atlanta, man, it's like your armpits are wet all the time, and it sucks.
Atlanta's known for two things: heat and the humidity, and the worst traffic in America. Although I think New Jersey, Newark, won the title this year. They beat out L.A. Did you hear that?
What about Seattle? Oh, L.A. is.
They beat L.A. out.
L.A.'s number one.
No way.
Jersey beat it this year.
No, I'm going to dispute that.
Go ahead, dispute it. Let me put you right in the middle of Newark, and you try to get to the city.
All right, try this.
Okay.
Where do you stay when you go to L.A.?
L.A. Live.
Okay. Try going the 101 to downtown L.A.
But that's why when I go to L.A., I stay at L.A. Live, so I don't have to get in a car and go anywhere unless it's an Uber and it's at nighttime. I'm not trying to during the day, during the morning. They said rush hour starts at 5 or 6.
Yes.
That's craziness. No,
that's why Kobe got killed, because he didn't want to.
I know he didn't want to sit in the traffic.
Right.
He didn't want to sit in that traffic.
Right.
God forbid. I wish he did sit in traffic.
If L.A. had better traffic, Kobe Bryant would be alive
The only
today.
pictures you ever see are red lights. All you see is lights, people just sitting there on the highways. And of course, OJ found a good lane. Him and AC.
You have to do certain things to get an open freeway.
They had the road to themselves. I remember that.
And an escort.
Right. And an escort. Hey, before we move on, one of my favorites of all time, Stuart Scott, would have been 56 years old today. I love Stu. Miss him on ESPN. You don't replace a guy like that. I had to play some of his best commercials for you on Stu Scott's 56th heavenly birthday.
Game time, baby. Yo, game time. You got that LeBron thing going on? It's gonna be a great show. Great show.
A little bit of pop and lock.
I love that one.
Booyah! Ha! Who know?
You're the man.
I'm the man. I'm the man. Come
I'm
on,
the
it's gotta
man.
be like, I'm the man!
I'm the man!
Not a rookie anymore. I shouldn't be doing all of this.
CP.
Wait, I thought you were rookie of the year. Right.
For a year.
Rookie of the year.
You gotta wear that thing all week? Yeah? Good luck out there.
Hey guys, you're on about 60 clicks.
All right, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That could go on and on, man. Those commercials never disappoint. We do our own Welcome to Woodward Sports commercial. You see D-Mac checking Art into the board. You see Corey pretending he's LeBron James.
Why'd they stop those commercials? Am I missing
They
them?
do them, but they don't do them as often anymore. They don't have the same personalities anymore. I mean,
not at all.
You got SVP. You got just Kenny Mayne's gone. Kenny Mayne was awesome back in the day. It's not the same anymore. What's up, Fish?
The reason why we don't do them, Terry, is as you can see, I mean, we're pretty busy.
No, he was asking about ESPN, I thought.
Oh, I thought you were talking about...
Were you asking about ESPN or why we don't do them?
ESPN.
Yeah,
I know
ESPN.
you do them.
Yeah, we do them. We try to do them.
We do them when we have time, which is kind of rare / not, because we'll take trips out to the golf course where everyone leaves and leaves us here. Very nice of them. What are you going to do?
Hey, you heard Fish. The Olympics start this Friday. Opening ceremony. Team USA plays on Sunday. The open pool play against, who do they play? I think
France.
it's Spain. France. Hollywood Francais. I wonder what the spread of that game is going to be. Because I want to tell you about this team. Is this a dream team? I know there's a lot of players out there that I prefer to see, and maybe I don't know how to put a team together. Jerry Colangelo is putting this together. Greg Popovich is putting this together. But let me read you the roster. And you guys, we'll go one at a time. Do you want Bam Adebayo on your team?
Yeah,
Does he
sure.
excite you?
Excite me? It gets the job done.
Okay, gets the job
For a
done.
team like this, no, he's a role player.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to Devin Booker. I think it's a sweep.
Yes.
Yes. T? You
Yes,
good on DB?
of course.
Kevin
Yes.
Durant.
Number one,
really.
yeah.
Bam.
KD. Jeremy Grant. You cover him. We love him. Does he belong?
Somebody has to play defense, and given the options, looking at the rest of this roster, Draymond is probably your only other real defender. You got to have somebody.
So you got Jeremy and you got Draymond.
Yeah, you should have one or the other.
You need multiple defenders. You got multiple scorers, but you need multiple defenders.
All right.
You don't need defenders in the Olympics.
Yeah,
you
do.
need scorers. You need badasses that's going to kick everybody's ass.
Jeremy Grant may not be that, but okay.
How about J.R. Huey Holiday?
Sure. Yeah.
He's playing now.
I'm going to say no. He's playing nice now,
yeah,
but for the most part, he may not start.
He doesn't come to the top of my mind when I'm building an Olympic team.
You need. I think when they looked at this, they said we've got a ton of scorers of the people available. We got a ton of scorers. We need a couple of defenders, and maybe that's why they backtracked and said let's get Grant.
All right, here's the kicker for me: injury replacement. And who had to sit out? Wizards. Bradley Beal.
Yep.
Instead of Bradley Beal, they're going to give us the kid from the Spurs, young kid, Keldon Johnson. I think he put in 17 yesterday against Spain. But Greg Popovich, that's his guy.
Yeah, a good showing. And I'm just curious about what the process was for these reserves that they had. You have to have people who are quarantining and not just out here in these streets. But, I mean, when you get to JaVale McGee, I'll raise my hand and say JaVale McGee. I mean, whatever.
7-footer.
Which is what they were lacking. They didn't have size in the middle, which is you got to do something.
So he's in as well. Zach LaVine, we heard him, the dunk contest
He's
champ.
in. He is a guy that attacks the basket. I like that.
I like him, but now he's sick or under quarantine at least. We'll see if he could play. Dame Lillard. I mean.
Dame time.
Really.
Yeah.
Even though he's going through some things now, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Chris Middleton is on fire.
Yeah.
It's his coming out party this year. I'm happy for him. Jason Tatum, always liked him.
Yeah.
I have dreams about Jason Tatum.
You did?
I was playing basketball against him.
Oh, yeah, I remember that a couple weeks ago.
And I drove by him, was putting a layup, and he called me a bitch and blocked my shot.
Did he pin it?
No, he didn't pin it. He just knocked it out.
Okay. And the coach, of course, Greg Popovich. That's the dream team now. Do they win a gold?
I think so. I think they figure it out, and it's just chemistry. With any of these teams, it takes time. Even with the Dream Team, they lost that first game against the select team at the time. And if you believe the stories, they did it on purpose. They wanted to show that, blah, whatever. I think
the select team is like almost the runner-up team. Am I correct?
Right, and the select team in '92 had Chris Webber, Grant Hill, some of these other guys that would have been much better than what the select team is this year.
That's good.
And their motivation was we're better than Christian Laettner, so he shouldn't be on the team. We should.
I know, and we're going to get to that right now. Let's compare it to the '92 Dream Team, the greatest team ever assembled in basketball history. You got Michael Jordan and Pippen.
Sure.
You got Stockton and Malone.
Only because that's a package deal, and
that's why I'm putting them together.
I'll obviously say that Isaiah should be there over Stockton.
I'm going to go to him. I'm going to go to him next. Well, last. Magic.
No question.
Bird.
Not at the time.
At the time, a little injured.
Bad back.
Bad back.
Okay.
He was over the hill.
Patrick Ewing.
I love Patrick Ewing. Yes.
Should have won a championship. Chris Mullin. I was surprised about that, but he's the shooter.
Yeah, he was the best shooter that I saw until Steph Curry came around.
Even better than Del Curry back then?
Yes, just the way I'm talking about form. Yeah, he was better than
I love Chris
Curry.
Mullin. I'm at St. John. I love St. John's. I love Chris Mullin.
I thought he was a better shooter than Del Curry.
Okay, and he was part of what was the Warriors' Run
TMC?
Yeah, Run TMC, which was awesome. Okay, after Chris Mullin, David Robinson's neighborhood.
No question.
No doubt. Charles Barkley.
No question.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. They took Clyde Drexler instead of Isaiah Thomas. These are the last picks on the team. They took Drexler and left Isaiah off. They didn't take Stockton and leave Isaiah off. They took Drexler, pretty eyes, and left Isaiah off.
That's even worse. Drexler was a glider. He was a fine player, but he was no Isaiah Thomas. But Isaiah Thomas took it all out on John Stockton. That's why Karl Malone busted him up. Every time Isaiah played Utah, I would get like a message from one of the players. So your boy's going to go off tonight. So what are you talking about? He's going to light Stockton's ass up tonight because he was pissed about that. So every time, if you notice, whenever Isaiah played Utah, he'd make it a mission statement to make Stockton look bad. He was good. He'd get 40 on him and set out the fourth quarter, and then even on switches, if somebody switched off and it wasn't Stockton, Isaiah would wait until Stockton got there and then do his little thing and go around him. So that's when Karl Malone put the elbow in his face.
Yeah, I think it's a Stockton Isaiah thing. I think it's just you need another point guard on that roster.
So you're taking Drexler over Stockton then?
Yeah.
Because they took Drexler over Isaiah, who you think should have been in over Stockton.
Yeah, I think Isaiah was a bigger name at the time. And if they were going for the game at the time, Stockton Malone works because it's a package deal, but I don't think, all things being equal, that Stockton is a better player than Isaiah. No way, no how.
All right, and the last pick was the college pick because they wanted to have a college player. And this is the one people forget about. They took Leitner, Christian Leitner, the most hated man in college, over Shaquille O'Neal.
Neither one was going to play anyway. It didn't matter.
But Shaq.
For
skinny Shaq.
For all intents and purposes, it's a popularity contest. And in '92, Leitner was that guy.
Yeah.
But
because he played for Duke.
Right. But if you look at them side by side, it's obviously you take that big 7'3" behemoth, but he wasn't going to play. I mean, you've got David Robinson. And Ewing, you've got centers. You don't need another center. They're not going to play anyway. It didn't matter.
Well, he wanted to have fun in Barcelona, so I think Shaq. Shaq is a Hall of Famer. Christian Leitner was a great college player. What did he do in the NBA? He wasn't Shaq.
But what was his role on this team? You're carrying the bags, homie. You grab the bags and grab the Gatorade.
I understand that, but if you're carrying the bags for that team, you better know how to play. Didn't matter.
No, you're carrying the bags. You're not getting into games and doing very much of anything at all. And they didn't need Shaq doing that. And Shaq probably would have said, "I'm not doing that. I don't care."
Shaq was a good dude. Shaq would have done it. He would have carried the bags.
And the coach, our guy Chuck Daly,
who had a.
How does he not get Isaiah in the game? On the team?
Well,
if you're Chuck Daly, how does he not insist?
He doesn't have the pull on this team. Because if MJ says it's me or him, that's it. That's the trump card that you can't combat. Right. If you're Chuck Daly.
I'm in the minority on this. I don't think it was MJ that kept him off. I think it was Scottie Pippen being in MJ's ear that kept him off, because Scottie Pippen hated Isaiah worse than Michael Jordan did.
Oh yeah,
and still does.
Yes,
and still does. By the way, Lions Rumble 81 on YouTube says, "Hey Terry, you forgot about Ray Allen."
Shooter too. Yes, but I'm talking about form. Right. I thought Chris Mullin was even better than him.
Ray Allen wasn't there in '92.
No, but shooting wise, I guess you're right.
I said at that time.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I want to go to my junior basketball player out there, Andrew, on social media. I'm going to go back to the dream team of this year, and we've talked about it in the hallways. They put these guys on. They put JaVale McGee on, 7-footer, okay, but Keldon Johnson. Trae Young or Keldon Johnson? Who do you want to see?
I'd rather see Trae Young all day. I mean, there's other guys who wish they're on this team over Keldon Johnson all day. And it's sad to see how USA Basketball did not recognize that. They brought in JaVale McGee, which they needed size. I do agree. They didn't have enough size. But if someone like Trae Young wants to go play, and then you know that you've been struggling, I mean, maybe there's some issues with the ball because you have Dame Lillard and you have Devin Booker. But I think Trae Young deserved to be there. I'm sorry, I think they should bring more stars out there. If they want to win and show, hey, we're the best in the world, you need to bring the best in the world. So it's a confusing pick, but hopefully they win the gold medal, so we'll see.
Rod, what do you think of your protege's choice there?
No, I like it. To that point, they do need more ball handling. They don't have a true point guard on this roster, so Trae Young would fit. But, I mean, what's Trae Young doing after he lost in the playoffs? That dude might be in Cabo somewhere just kind of hanging out.
So I know, but you want to play for the Olympics, or you want to go to Cabo where you can do anytime?
And if you tell him don't go to Cabo, he don't go. He doesn't go to Cabo.
And Rod, this is a question for you. Do you think the guys who are playing Olympics, like Devin Booker, Chris Middleton, you think they're going to have an even worse season with injuries coming up? You think next season we're going to see more injuries than ever with these guys going to the Olympics, like Luka, like Giannis, and stuff like that?
That's the big question I have is they structured the season so they can fit the Olympics in and finish the season by the time the Olympics started. And as it is, if they play a Game 7, they're going to have to leave right after Game 7 or that next morning in order to get to Tokyo in time for this. So I think the injury is a concern, and LeBron brought it up earlier, that we're seeing so many of these catastrophic injuries and big injuries in the playoffs because these seasons have been so compacted and right back-to-back, but they're trying to stay on this calendar to make sure that they can get back to what the normal would be.
If I'm playing a Game 7, I'm not playing the Olympics. No. I'm just skipping it.
Yeah. But you already told them that you're going to be there. They didn't know they were
I'm in
play
the NBA
7.
Finals.
I understand
that. Trumps that. So,
but
its finals are done Thursday. You don't have to come till Sunday.
I'm not still. But the issue is my long-term health.
Right.
I'm not doing it.
It's an extension of the playoffs. So you're probably playing what, six more games?
But you're going across the world.
Yeah, that
is something different across the world. There are no fans there.
I know, but Japan is COVIDville.
Everywhere is COVIDville.
No, not like that.
Well,
with 17% of the population is vaccinated.
Okay, well, sure, but there are no fans. You're going to be, and everybody's going to be. Do you understand how much of a PR nightmare it's going to be if they have a COVID outbreak? They're going to be extra careful to make sure.
Yeah, in the Olympics, they're taking a lot of precautions. They're saying that the rules in the Olympics are stricter than the bubble. It's even more compact what they're doing.
Yeah, but you know what? Terry's tired. I just played a full NBA season, 7 games in the NBA playoffs, and you want me to be there in a couple of days? I'm tired.
I don't understand. I'm really surprised that so many players from the Sears are going to the Olympics, because I think the team's going to have they're going to have to play pool play like it's going to be expedition games again, because they're going to bring in Devin Booker, they're going to bring Chris Middleton and other guys.
But they'll manage their minutes early on, and they might even just save them for the medal round if they get to that point where they're tired. I think they'll limit their minutes, but try to get them ingrained and involved in what's going on.
Pop knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And you know what? We'll be rooting for him. It starts Friday's the opening ceremony. Sunday's pool play against France. So buckle up. Let's see if they can bring home the gold. When we come back on the hook, the good folks here at Woodward Sports, we try to get that social media going. And they put out a great topic over the weekend. I kind of was very intrigued. I voted right away. College or pro? Who has gotten a bigger pass in Detroit sports? We're going to tell you about that when we come back, right here on Woodward Sports Network, on the hook.
You know why realtors love using Hall Financial as a lender? Because of our commitment to speed and service. We have nearly 4,000 5-star reviews already. Call today, 248-308-5000, or go to callhallfirst.com.
Hey gang, it's Maz sitting in for D-Mac for CoastPortland.com. They've got all your outdoor needs, from knives to lanterns to headlamps and more. Make sure you use WSN20 when you check out to get 20% off. And congratulations if you have qualified for a chance at our crypto contest, our 25K for Kick for Crypto promo. Call in right now, 313-552-6322. We know you're not going to call. So what you're going to do is you're going to write in on one of our social media. Andrew's going to find you, and you're going to put the code word Hook Olympics. Hook. Oh, yeah, we got to get crypto in there. Crypto. Just Crypto Olympics. Crypto Olympics. If you write Crypto Hook Olympics, or just say I want crypto, we'll get you qualified. And if you get qualified, you will win a headlamp or Coast Portland knife. You're going to be qualified for the final for our Kick for Crypto contest happening July 23rd. That's this Friday. It starts at 3 o'clock at the Imagine in Novi.
You know what else you could do?
On that. What else can you do?
You could have Why is Rod Beard trying to bring Ben Simmons to Detroit?
Oh, yeah. We can do that, too.
You could not.
He wants to trade Ben Simmons for the rights to Cade Cunningham.
Right.
We can talk about that as well. Don't forget.
Explain yourself, young man.
CoastPortland.com. Use that promo code WSN20. Back on the hook on Woodward Sports Network. Tom Mazaway, Terry Foster, Rod Beard sitting in today for Darren McCarty and Pilar. We got Fish. And, of course, we got Andrew and Alex in the house as well. We teased this going to the break. College or pro, who has gotten the bigger pass in Detroit sports?
You want me to show the results, Maz?
We're going to put them up.
Okay.
These were your choices. You had to vote until today, I think. I think it ended today. Matthew Stafford, Al Avila, Jim Harbaugh, or other. And since I'm blind as a bat, tell me, Alex, all of the percentages that are on the board as we speak.
So Matthew Stafford is at 15%, Al Avila is at 22%, and Jim Harbaugh leads the way at 60%.
And other has how much?
1%.
That's it? I wonder who the other was that they voted for. Maybe Steve Eiserman? I doubt it. It's been too early. But, Rod, I'm going to go down to you. You're going to start us off. Who has had the bigger pass?
The correct answer is Jim Harbaugh. But I can make a compelling argument for Matthew Stafford because as a quarterback, being paid what he was paid, you should be able to lead your team to the playoffs and through the playoffs if you have a good enough defense. And under Caldwell, they had a good enough defense, the second-ranked defense in the league, where they should have been able to do something.
And Dominican Sue.
Yeah, where they should have been able to do anything in the playoffs. And for franchise quarterback, which is what he was, number one pick, you've got to lift a team and carry a team sometimes. He never did that in the postseason or to the postseason. I think he's gotten a bigger pass than he should have. Harbaugh is the correct answer. But Stafford really, really didn't get the type of pressure that he should have gotten because it turned from, well, it takes a quarterback 5 years to it takes a quarterback 9 years to it takes a quarterback 10 years to figure it out. No, it doesn't. You've missed the window where you should have been able to get this team somewhere.
It didn't take Patrick Mahomes that long.
Here's why I didn't vote for Stafford.
You didn't vote for Stafford?
No.
I thought you were Stafford all the way.
No.
You hate Stafford.
He plays for the Lions. That's,
okay.
to me,
He's off
one
the
of
hook.
the worst organizations in pro sports history.
There are other forces at play here?
There are other forces at play here. And I bring this up. There's only one man walking the face of the earth who won a playoff game wearing a Detroit Lions uniform, and that is Eric Kramer. Eric Kramer wasn't a great quarterback, but they had Barry Sanders, they had
Herman Moore, Johnny Morton, Brett Perriman.
Yep.
Right.
They had a great defense, Benny Blades, Chris Spielman, go on and on. Good offensive line, Lomas Brown.
Although we used to roast the offensive line a little bit because every time Barry got the ball, he was like 5 yards deep in the backfield, like, okay, where'd I go now? And he would scamper off for 20 yards.
I had people arguing with me because it was Barry's birthday the other day. And I put out, like I always do, there's no running back like Barry Sanders. And, you know, I've been watching football my whole life. It's pretty old. You've been watching football your whole life. Rod as well. But I can tell you, there's no running back like Barry Sanders, a true, absolute running back. And then I got all the tweets in. Maz, you forgot about Walter Payton. I would never forget about Walter Payton. I loved him. You never forgot about Emmitt Smith. No, I'm not going to forget about Emmitt Smith. I know he ran. I love Emmitt Smith. He's the leading
career rusher.
He's the career rushing leader, even though he finished with the Cardinals. But he had a great line in Dallas. Although he had a great line in Dallas, I still loved him. And I thought the Lions had an above-average line as well. But why did Barry sometimes not show up in playoff games? And he had his minus, then he busts one for 60. So I don't know. A little bit off the subject, is Barry the best ever? Terry.
Barry Sanders is the best runner I've ever seen run a football. And, you know, in the playoffs, I think, you know, it was stop Barry Sanders. And that was it. And I think that was part of it. And plus, Barry's like, I'm breaking every run for 60. And in the playoffs, it just didn't quite work out that way.
Or in Lambeau.
No, it sure didn't.
He had one good game in Lambeau.
He had 13. I remember the one 13 carries for minus 1 yard.
Yep. And people bring that up, and that's what bugs the hell out of me.
No, but it's not. you just get the ball and you make something happen. You need your offensive line to do something for you, unlike a quarterback where there are throws you can make, there are things you can do to lift your team. And again, that's why they say quarterback is the most important position on the field, and I agree with that.
So getting back to our question, college or pro, who's gotten a bigger pass in Detroit sports? Matthew Stafford, Al Avila, Jim Harbaugh, or someone else? So far, we got 2 votes for Jim Harbaugh, half a vote for Matthew Stafford. I got Jim Harbaugh. That was the quickest I ever voted on a poll. Okay, because when he came here, I'm a Michigan fan. I've been rooting for him my whole life. I'm not a Walmart Wolverine, by the way, folks. I rooted for him when I was in New Jersey because that's the game that was on TV. You had Notre Dame, you had Michigan, you had Penn State, a couple other teams. I hooked on to Michigan. Always the great Keith Jackson's at the Big House. First place I visited when I came to Michigan, my wife took me to Ann Arbor. I wanted to see the Big House. The usher let me in. I got to walk on the field in awe. I'm still in awe when I go to Ann Arbor, even though it's a big hole in the wall, a hole in the ground. I love Michigan, so I'm not a Walmarter. But Jim Harbaugh, when he came here, I just bragged my ass off. All the Michigan State fans, because let's face it, if you were born in the last 15 years, 20 years, you're a Michigan State fan because they've owned the rivalry. They've owned the backyard brawl. They have put it in our face. Mark D'Antonio has smeared us around. Ohio State, you can't beat them. Pardon?
Mel Tucker's 1-0.
Mel Tucker's 1-0 even with that big cigar of his. He couldn't beat anyone else though. But that's another story.
That counts.
I know.
That's all we're happy about.
And you know what? I'm one of those guys that I'd rather beat MSU than beat Ohio State. And I know I'm late to the party on that. But I'm just you
got to beat Ohio State, brother.
I understand, but I could not stand the Spartan fans when they would just dominate. And that game, when they botched that punt and Michigan State won that game, I'll say it to this day, Jim Harbaugh, I saw the ghost leave his body. It did. He was stunned. I see him with his hands on his knees, just looking straight out there, and he's like, why the F didn't I call a timeout? I had one left. All I had to do was tell my punter, catch the damn ball, and just one step and kick it, or if it's a fumble, just fall on the damn ball. The only thing that could beat us was what beat us. And Jim Harbaugh has done nothing here. You hear about him living in a tree, going to get his best kicker, Quinn Nordine, who turned out to be not very good after all. Although I think he got drafted, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. The Bengals might have drafted him. But nonetheless, Jim Harbaugh has not produced, and he's gotten his ass kicked from Ohio State. Embarrassingly so. Last year, what was the spread? 35, I think?
Yeah, something silly.
And Ohio State just laughed at them.
Here's why I believe it should be Harbaugh. Harbaugh is finally getting criticism from the Michigan fans. You fumble with the snap. Guess who got no criticism after that game? Jim Harbaugh. It was a fluke play, 1 in a million play, blah, blah, blah. But Jim Harbaugh, had, he had guys out there to try to, cover the punt.
Yeah.
And there was no punt.
There was no punt. You don't have to worry about
necessary.
It.
Right.
They're not going to run it back.
Mm-mm. So they had everybody up on the line. There was nobody back there.
Do you agree that's when Jim Harbaugh ceased being Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah, and he got no criticism.
He didn't?
No.
I did.
That was you, dude. You won voice.
My kid was just about ready to go out and get us Chinese food, taking the orders from all of us. We were all watching the game. And then I couldn't wait to order my whatever the hell I was going to order.
Egg foo young.
General Tso's.
Instead, I just threw up in my mouth and didn't eat anything.
So I'll tell you what. At the Jim Harbaugh opening presser, I remember thinking to myself, this had better be it, because they could have gone Les Miles first and then gone. But if Harbaugh doesn't work out, they have nowhere else to go. There's no next step after Jim Harbaugh, because he was the holy grail of everything. They moved heaven and earth to get him. But if Jim Harbaugh didn't work out, I remember thinking to myself, this is going to be really bad because of just how happy everybody was that they finally got him.
Lions Rumble 81 on Twitter. We got the wrong Harbaugh, brother.
No,
John Harbaugh.
There's
John
that too.
Harbaugh won a Super Bowl, probably going to win another one here in the next couple of years with the Ravens. But I loved Jim Harbaugh. I really did. He was with the 49ers. He got to the Super Bowl against his brother. You got Colin Kaepernick as your quarterback. You had Alex Smith. He goes down with a terrible injury. He brings this Colin Kaepernick kid in, and they go to the Super Bowl. And who knows? They have obviously had a chance to win that game. The blackout helped them at the Superdome because the Ravens were running them at that time. But they come back. They could have won that Super Bowl, and then that's it. He disappears, and then you hear about, oh, he's going to get hired in the NFL. I don't think they want anything to do with him anymore.
College is a different game, man. You can't you can't float back and forth like that and expect to have the same success. Recruiting is different. Where he's figuring out he's got to be up in a tree to try to go get a dude. Come on, man. That's not for everybody.
Hey, and don't forget the big back slap at Ford Field.
Oh yeah, Jimmy handshake.
Yeah,
that was Harbaugh against Schwartz.
Yeah,
the two Jimmies. Remember he tried to hurry shake him. I love Jim Schwartz, by the way. I did dig Jim Schwartz, and I love what Jim ran after him on that game. That was as good as it gets here, George. You know, you root for little things when you're a Lions fan. That was one of the things that got me excited. A coach that wanted to stick up for his team. I love Jim Caldwell, but never really stuck up for his team. Never went after the refs. I think that pretty much cost him his job here. He did a great job.
Decorum.
I know he's a polite man. But you got to go fight for your team once in a while.
Hey, when 9 and 7 is not good enough, then
I know.
I mean, you go to 5 and 11.
I get it. I'll take gentleman Jim Caldwell back.
Absolutely.
But right now we got MCDC. We got Dan Campbell in the house. When we come back, we got Michigan football on the mind. Are you ready for this? Michigan football players are about to be paid, and they're going to get paid a lot. You're listening to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
You know why realtors love using Hall Financial as a lender? Because of our commitment to speed and service. We have nearly 4,000 5-star reviews already. Call today, 248-308-5000, or go to callhallfirst.com.
Would you like to win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time?
Then watch as we turn this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
Watch the Call Sam Chopper Shop on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Corey's been wearing this LeBron James jersey around the network. It's been falling down a lot.
And you know, really, that's it. Dan Campbell is going to be the man for the Lions. Don't you agree, Corey? I didn't even touch you.
Alright, it's not about the who, it's about the why. 8 Mile Vodka, born in Detroit, distilled in single 90-liter batches to allow optimum quality control and care. Then carbon filtered to create a perfect, and bottled to create perfect time and produce a subtle taste, smooth finish, and a character all of its own. This is an exceptional premium vodka that can be chilled and enjoyed straight or mixed to create an exceptional cocktail. Next time you're out, ask your bartender for an 8 Mile Vodka or pick up a bottle at Meijer. Not Myers. And always drink responsibly.
Hold that damn bottle up. We're thirsty. Nice job, Fish. Now put the music on. There we are. Let's hear it for Fish.
Wonderful.
The new spokesman for 8 Mile Vodka. Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. Tom Mazaway alongside my cohorts today. Terry Foster, Rod Beard from the Detroit News. Not the other Beard. We got Rod Beard.
I didn't know.
In the house. Did you know that?
I didn't know they were related.
Yeah, they're brothers.
No, they're cousins.
I know that. I'm joking. We always say they were brothers.
They're brothers, but they're cousins.
Correct. Anyway, we are back on The Hook, and welcome in. And I just left you before with this little tidbit. Michigan football players are going to get paid. Are you ready, guys? They're going to be the first to make money off of jersey sales. $10 a jersey or more. They're going to have those when they get sold. They will make over $10 or more with their name on the back of the jersey, which is twice as good as NFL players make. So, there you have it. Jalen Rose, Chris Webber, Jimmy King, Ray.
Chris Webber can finally afford that pizza that he didn't get.
I know you guys wanted it back in the day, the Fab Five. And here we are. It's finally here. If there's a jersey with your name on it, they are now partners with the M-Den. And the M-Den is now sponsoring Michigan football. If you buy a jersey with a name on it, they're getting a piece. Even if I don't wonder if it's Jim Harbaugh. You get the old throwback Jim Harbaugh jerseys.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's...
Here we go, Rod.
We're
here.
It's $10. How many jerseys do you have to sell to really make that worth my while? That if I'm an offensive lineman, are you even stocking my jersey?
No, everybody's not going to get paid.
Everybody's not going to get paid from this. And for some of the guys, $10 is it sounds like a lot, but you're going to have to move units to make that really make a difference.
It's better than nothing, though.
It's better than nothing, but I mean, it's like you send me a check for $30 because I sold 3 jerseys.
No, brother, you're buying more than 3 of my damn jerseys. I'm gonna sell hundreds.
Okay, you got to move units. Is all I'm saying.
Correct.
So everybody doesn't get it, and some guys are going to get a little bit more than others. I mean, that's just how this is. Let's see how it's going to work out.
Here's how it is. It's in a deal believed to be the first in college football since the NCAA peeled back its rules relating to name, image, and likeness. July 1st, they did that. A group of nearly 60 players have agreed to have their names stitched on the back. The feature went live on Friday. The number of players involved is expected to rise in the next coming days and weeks. That's what Scott Kurth, who is the president of MLive, of the M-Den, told them. So 60 jerseys right now with names on them.
And of those 60, maybe you just have a pool where everybody shares in when a jersey is sold.
I think that's how it's going to go.
All right, man. But if it's $10, you got to give me my $10 like when it sells. That day, I need to come in and you give me a check or you give me cash out the register. We sold 2 of your jerseys, Terry. Here's $20. There you go. I don't need it 5 weeks from now because it's $20.
So you can go to Cottage Inn and get your pizza.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Then I need a credit card account
and
for,
a pitcher of beer.
I need a tab at Cottage Inn to make this happen.
But I think you're being a little bit of a stick in the mud because if a wrestler goes out and wins the national championship, guess what? The AD gets a bonus for that. If the football player gets you to the Rose Bowl, the coaches and the AD get a bonus. Players don't get anything. You sell a jersey, the NCAA gets the money. Michigan gets the money. $10 for a jersey is pretty good. It's a pretty good
Well, it
thing.
says at least $10, which is double what the NFL players get. But obviously more people buy NFL jerseys.
But don't get me wrong on this. I'm all for college players getting paid. That's absolutely the headline in this, is that they're getting paid. But there needs to be some type of upfront money, like give me $1,000 and then $10 per shirt. Or give me $1,000 and give me $5 per jersey after that. But give me something that makes a difference. If I'm the backup tight end, I'm not seeing anything. If I'm an offensive lineman, I might not see it. I mean, my mom, people in my hometown are going out and they might buy 100, 200 jerseys. I'll get something from that. But give me a chunk of money. That's where the biggest need in this is not $10 per jersey. It is give me a lump sum so I can go and survive. College students, and Terry, you know this all too well, college students need money at the beginning of the semester. Don't tell me in November, here's a check for your 50 jerseys that you sold, here's $500. It's November. Bruh, I need that in September. I need that right before Labor Day.
It started a couple weeks ago when they put this out, July 1st. And the first team that popped up was University of Miami, the U. You know the U, or they go like this.
Yeah.
And there was a dealer, a gym owner.
Dealer, I believe it.
A gym owner / dealer that said, I'm going to pay the football team. Each guy's going to get a monthly stipend, and all you got to do is say, go to my gym.
There you go.
You're good with that then?
I'm good with that because it's a monthly stipend. It's not dependent on whether my jersey sells. If I have a good game this week and I get 500 jerseys sold, well, okay, that's something. I need something that's maybe a lump sum up front or a monthly stipend that I know I can count on something.
You know what's going to really hit is when Michigan basketball starts to get it. Because I think basketball, you'll sell more jerseys in college basketball than you will in college football, especially when you have a good team like that.
That's probably true.
No, I think in Michigan you sell more football jerseys, but in basketball you have fewer people dipping in the pool, so they may get more money.
And they're better. The college, let's face it, the Michigan basketball team is better
Michigan's a basketball
than the Michigan
school
football team.
It's a basketball school.
Yeah, it's now a basketball school.
Don't say that in front of those fans, though.
I mean,
but we all know it's
just
true.
saying.
I mean,
where do they spend their money? Football.
They spend their money on football, but win me a bowl game that matters, and then we can talk about Michigan being a football school.
Hey, the kids are getting paid now. This is a new era, and you know there's going to be a lot of hits and misses going forward here because something's going to go wrong. The NCAA is going to put their hand in.
It's the NCAA. Yes, something is going to go wrong.
It's going to go wrong. As long as they give me a 16-team playoff, Even
Eventually.
an 8-team playoff.
Eventually.
I will be happy within the next 2 years.
They have to find they have to monetize that to make it worth their while before you get what you want.
I know.
Well, the other thing they have to do is not piss off the bowl cities.
I know, but you can name the bowl those games. You can name each bowl.
You can do that, but they haven't figured that out.
Well, they should. Go ahead, Fish.
Hey, we have mini breaking news, and I say mini because it was like an hour ago.
Okay.
So mini breaking news. Peyton Manning and Eli Manning will headline Monday Night Football's alternate megacast that they're going to run.
Okay. Nice.
And they'll have other NFL people and celebrities on it as well.
So it's like the national championship game. You could turn on different channels to see different views of the game and all of that. If you don't want to watch Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, you could switch it off. Who's the third? Lou Riddick is the third there as well. But you're more excited to hear Sean McDonough on NHL next season, aren't you?
He's the best.
He's the best. There you go.
Those guys, I'd rather hear Peyton Manning because I think Eli's kind of a dud.
He's not. Sean's not going to be the main guy though for hockey. It's
he
going to
is.
be Steve.
No.
You think so?
Sean McDonough is number one.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Steve Levy is the number one studio host. He will do games as well. But Sean McDonough is the new voice of the NHL on ESPN.
Okay.
There you go.
Gary Thorne. I wish they would have brought him back. The Mets actually brought Gary Thorne back for a while. They used to have him back in the day, but Gary Cohen needed some weeks off, so Mets fans are listening to the great Gary Thorne call the game right now. Another guy that calls games, calls an eating game. It's called Fatterday. And our good friend Andy Isaac. If you don't follow this guy at World of Isaac on Twitter, you're really missing out. When we come back, you're going to see what he did on the weekend at that special game on Saturday at Comerica Park with EZ and Kennedy. We got some great
Is there any
video
food left
for
in
you.
Comerica? Those two?
Well, you've got to check it out.
All right.
Keep it right here on The Hook. You're listening and watching Woodward Sports Network.
So what's up? My name is Sean Baligian. Glad to be a part of Baligian and Bell every day at 11. I'm the guy that gets pissed off at all the stupid sports fans out there.
What up, though? I'm Drake Bell here on the Baligian and Bell show here at Woodward Sports Network. Tap into the energetic Sean and the calm, smooth Drake Bell.
We are here, downtown Fenton, my favorite Bridge Street Exchange.
That's right. And you want to switch up your wardrobe this summer? It's this easy. You ready, Joey?
I'm ready.
All right, you ready? I like it. You want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right. Ooh, Brixton. Nice. One more time?
Yes.
Ooh, I like the hat on this one, too. You ready to do it one more time, Joey?
I'm getting tired. One last one.
All right, let's change it. Bro, where's your shirt? You need new clothes this summer. Bridge Street Exchange in Fenton. That's where you need to go. Thank you, guys.
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. Tom Maslow alongside Terry Foster, T-Foss, as you know and love him, and Rod Beard from the Detroit News. Very nice of him to come on out.
Rod and Reel.
Rod and Reel?
Yeah.
All right. Well, he was going to paint his, what were you painting, the kitchen?
Kitchen.
He was going to paint his kitchen, but we got him in here. We might even get him on
You
later
know
on
what?
in the week.
No. Let me call this man's lying to us.
What's he doing?
He wasn't painting the kitchen.
What was he doing?
There's no speckles on his arm.
That's a good point.
I took a shower, Terry. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you
they
want?
still don't
Terry,
come
you
out.
probably
They do.
changed the shirt, took a shower.
No. When
Do they
I
not come out?
paint, even when I take a shower, there's still some speckles on my skin.
I washed thoroughly today, Terry.
Okay.
He also could have worn like a poncho or a long sleeve shirt. Long
Did you
sleeve
wear
shirt.
a poncho?
I
No.
did not. I wore
Terry,
painting
that's the
clothes.
long sleeve shirt. Long sleeve shirt.
Whoops,
gloves.
sorry about that. There goes
yeah.
Rod's
That's Mass's
stool.
awesome chairs. But he could have worn long sleeve shirt and gloves. No?
He could have.
He could have.
But it's hot.
Hey, I told you before the break, our good friend now working here at Woodward Sports, we're proud to have him, Andy Isaac, eating his way through Comerica Park last Saturday alongside our good man, EZD, as Pilar would call him, and our own Kennedy Broadwell. They attacked the Summer Baseball Bash at Comerica. Lots of people there. Jim Leland was there signing autographs. Phil Koch was getting the fans all excited. Over 30,000 at Comerica. It was kind of like a second opening day. The Tigers did not disappoint. They won that game as well. But here's Andy Isaac at World of Isaac. Check out this eating spree on Saturday, not Saturday.
Play ball!
Ready? What is up, everyone? We're at Comerica Park for Summer Bash
2021, and we want to find out what are the best eats in the park. Welcome to Isaac Eats. We're at the Miller Lite Stuffed Sandwiches, and it is impossible to come to Comerica Park and not eat the shawarma nachos. Shawarmas are a huge, huge part of the culture, the area. I mean, you can't go to a Detroit or a Dearborn without getting some shawarma, and the shawarma nachos are just something just so different. So we're gonna have to eat this. It is a novelty item here, but it is also just so good, so appetizing. Let's do it. So we have one of Comerica Park's biggest novelty items, the shawarma nachos. Now, instead of chips, like regular tortilla chips, the Tigers have done just a little trick. They've done these pita chips, and it's like kind of just like toasted pita bread. They've topped it with tahini. They've topped it with hummus. You got some vegetables, which I am absolutely not a fan of, and they've thrown in a pickle. So let's give this a try. This is chicken shawarma, not beef shawarma, so it's got a very distinct flavor, distinct taste. Here we go. Let's try to all get it in one bite. Sloppy as hell, just the way I like it. For the first thing I've eaten for Isaac Eats, this is fantastic. I'm giving this a 7.6.
What's up, you guys? This is Kennedy at Copa. We are going to be testing some Tigers fans' knowledge today. Let's go. All right, how many home runs is Miggy away from 500?
4.
Very close.
3. 6.
There you go!
6.
Who was the last Tiger to win an MVP?
Miguel Cabrera.
Cabrera.
Yeah, Miguel Cabrera.
Can we get a Woodward Sports, let's go?
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Woodward Sports, let's go.
What is up, everyone? We are still hanging out in the food court, and we are with Detroit Lions punter Jack Fox. Jack, you have been in Detroit for a year?
Yeah, 1 year.
1 year. Tell us what your favorite food around Detroit is.
So last night I actually went to Red Coat Tavern.
Okay.
Gotta check out Red Coat Tavern, get the brasserie burger, bacon, get it medium, get some cheddar cheese on there and special sauce.
All right.
Best burger I've ever had.
So you've called yourself, you know that I am the sausage king of Detroit. I am the sausage person in this area. But you have come at me and said you are the sausage king of Royal Oak. Do you want to have a contest as the sausage king of Royal Oak versus the sausage king of Detroit? Are we going to fight over this with sausage?
Yeah, I think we should. I propose a competition. My turf, Royal Oak Farmers Market.
Oh my God.
Hit up Seymour the Sausage Man, and we'll both eat a kielbasa. Shout out Leo's Coney Island. Best chicken finger pita in town.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
I see Fox's Kelly Rowe there, too. She's one of my faves. I love Kelly. Nice job, Isaac. Welcome to Andy Isaac at World of Isaac. If you don't follow him, you're missing out on a great follow on Twitter. Usually he just sits down in his living room and he tries all the food that he doesn't want you to try, all the crap new cereals, all the cookie flavors. And have you seen his stuff, and would you eat what he eats?
Fun fact about him, he at the Little Caesars Arena, they gave him like a year's supply of hot dogs, and they rolled out this red carpet for him and made a whole big
sausage
deal. And I walked right by it when they were doing it. I'm like, I thought it was one of these proposals that they do at the game. I'm like, oh, come on, not another one of these. But it was him getting this certificate to get the sausage for the rest of the year.
Yep, the sausage king himself. And that was during COVID. And hopefully this year we're going to have a lot more fun down there. And before we let you go, everyone go, Andrew, our NBA expert, he's got lots of stuff you guys have been writing him about Cade Cunningham, and I figured I'd give you the floor to talk with Rod and Terry.
Yeah, I have a question for you guys. The debate right now is between Jalen Green and Cade Cunningham. In your opinion, which you think the Pistons need? I think Cade at the end of the day with the playmaking style. Do you think the Pistons are going to lean towards Jalen Green because of athleticism and the growth he has? So, I want to hear your thoughts on that debate right now the Pistons fans have in mind.
The number one pick is going to be Cade Cunningham. The only question is whether they traded for a package, and it has to be a ridiculous package of a bounty of picks and other stuff. And you have to give me the number 2 or the number 3 pick. I'm not talking about anything else. But I think Cade is really the answer for them because he can play so many different positions.
Yeah. I think when you look at today's NBA, if you can get a guy that can control the game, whether it be a point guard or a point forward or a point center, you got it made. I mean, look at Milwaukee. Giannis can do that. Phoenix, Chris Paul can do it. Booker can do it to a certain extent. So you need that guy that can control the key. The game has changed since I used to cover. It was the exact opposite. If you can get somebody down low, then you could win. Now you need that point forward, the guy that can control the ball, not turn it over, can score. Bam.
Will there be other players coming here that want to maybe be here if they put Cade in with that rookie class from last year?
Yeah, I think so. And when you look at their salary cap sheet, Blake Griffin's money comes off the books next summer, and they'll have a max slot that they can bring in a big-time player with. And again, I think that'll be
What do you like off the top of your head?
Still too early to see.
Okay.
Still too, because it depends on how much development these other guys have. Is Isaiah Stewart a starter frontline type guy? Can he improve even on what he did last season, or is he just another piece? It depends on how all this season shakes out.
Did you give up on Sekou yet?
This is the year. This is the year. He's got a very, very short leash to try to show that he's worthy of that number 1 pick. And that's the only guy that's left from the roster 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think that's by design. They just want to give him a little bit more time because he just turned 20, I believe, or he turns 20 at the end of December. They're not going to cut bait with him just yet.
They should have took him to the Olympics with him. He could have doped out the France team.
I mean, it's
dangerous to give up on a guy who's 20.
I don't want to give up on him. I don't want to give up on him. I just want him to be something.
You brought it up.
A little something.
He can be something. He's still got time, but again, I think his time is short still.
Hey, we'll have Rod back in, Andrew. Don't worry, I'll get you back on. Terry will be back during the week as well. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. D-Mac, I hope you had a great round of golf. Pilar, we'll see you tomorrow. Hope your little girl feels better. Fish, great job today on the reads. I'm proud of you. Andrew, awesome on the socials, and of course your NBA knowledge. Alex, great job. Adam, thank you as well. For my cohorts, Mr. Paint himself, the Dutch boy himself.
Had fun.
You're the Dutch boy. You're the Dutch boy. Rick Smits. You're the new Dutch boy. You're the painter. That's Rod Beard from the Detroit News. My main man, Terry Foster in the middle. T. Foss. I'm Tom Mazaway. Thanks for listening to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. We'll see you tomorrow.
Booker the drive, gets inside, leans in, knocked away and stolen by Holiday. Phoenix has to foul.